Evening, everybody. How we doing today? How we doing? Long time no see. It's only been a few days. Thank you to the Common Censored crew for raiding the stream. Glad to see y'all here. Still hanging out with Sterling for a little bit. I completely understand. That was a juicy topic that he was about to get into with Redacted. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about delaying my stream for a minute, but definitely appreciate the support. Heck yeah. Smash that like button, y'all. Smash that like button. Welcome to the Dozer Den. This is episode 26, I believe. Still in the fledgling voyage. Exactly. Uh, but yeah, second, we're going to start doing this stream 2 times a week. And if you haven't followed Common Censored on Rumble yet, go ahead and go over there and follow them really quick. Always great content. Starts at 5:45 Central, 6:45 Eastern. Goes for about 3 hours, Monday through Friday. Friday stream usually lasts a little bit longer. Great stuff over there on Common Censored. Sterling tearing it up, spreading the truth, mixing it up too, and being open to most perspectives. Except for the crazy left. I mean, the crazy left, you got to cut them off at some point. So, very much appreciated. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, hi there. Nice to see you. Glad you're watching today. This is a show where I aim to inform and entertain. What's up, Sam Duty? Got you some emotes there. Nice. What's up, Sliant? Good to see you guys. So the point of this show is to inform and entertain. Infotainment or edutainment sometimes. Sometimes we get a little bit into the minutia of a topic. We talked about weather modification and weather warfare for about an hour a couple streams ago. That was last Thursday. And then, of course, I started the Monday streams. So we're going to be doing Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Central. Go for about a little over 2 hours. It was about 2.5 hours on Monday. Thursday streams go a little bit longer usually. Gonna try to be keeping them to about 2.5 hours to 3. Just depends on how excited I get, how much the chat is having a good time, and I do it for you guys, do it for the audience. So glad that anybody would take time out of their evening to hang out with me. Much appreciated. See, we've got one person watching over on YouTube. Thank you so much to the YouTube viewer. Even if I scare you away after mentioning, and there it went. It looks like it went away right there. See, that's what I do. It's like a deer. You're not supposed to even acknowledge the deer. You're just supposed to let it be, and then it'll be okay. Once you acknowledge it, oh well, there it goes. Anybody who is watching and wherever you're watching, thank you so much. To those people who are watching live and don't want to participate in the chat, I still love you. The lurkers, you still got my love. If you guys want to comment in the comment section, throw out a little bit of conversation. Nothing wrong with that. Apparently, it helps the algorithm, helps exposure for this channel. If you want to share this stream out, I wouldn't be offended by that. I try to share it out as many places as I can, trying to get as many eyes as possible. Like I said, the goal is to inform and hopefully do it in a somewhat entertaining way. I will try to mute. Whenever I have to do that. I'm a little bit under the weather. A little bit under the weather. Last stream was doing a little bit of hacking and coughing. It has progressed. It has progressed just slightly, and I am taking quercetin and 2 vitamin D things in the morning because the units are lower than the one that I wanted, so I just take 2 of them. Vitamin C. I got to get more zinc. I do need to get more zinc. And then, of course, trying to get as much sunshine as I can. Some natural vitamin D, anyways. It's a good idea. Sunlight's very, very helpful. Very helpful. Good for your body. A lot of people think that they get convinced that you're supposed to hide your body away from the sun, and that is not the case. We function. We are beings of light. And the sun is what keeps us rolling. Magnesium, yeah, I need to get some more magnesium. Hey, and Pulled McGroin, thanks for putting that link up in the comments. I saw that you commented before the stream. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I did actually already. I literally had that. I had that one pulled up, so I have the actual DOD document where it talks about military force. So I had that actually pulled up, but thank you so much for looking out, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to try not to do that too much tonight. But like I said, I have some cough drops. Ludens. Friend left these in the car, so I'm like, hey, might as well. Actually, I already had one, so I need to probably chill on that. I have a tendency to chew go ahead and start chewing the cough drops instead of letting them dissolve, which is not good, but I do it. But anyways, guys, follow the channel if you have not followed the channel yet. If you want, you can follow me on X. There it is. I think it's a little bit slower whenever it's restreamed, but maybe right around there. At Bulldozer74 __. We broke 2,500 followers recently over on X. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I'm glad to see it. I am very glad to see it. I do need to go ahead and check on my X people because I do have quite a few people that watch on X as well. And I appreciate the heck out of anyone watching wherever you choose to watch. Even if you're on YouTube, I appreciate you watching on YouTube as well because I understand some people, they get comfortable with YouTube. I completely understand that. So that is one of the reasons that I stream to Rumble, X, and YouTube. My main focus is Rumble and X for sure, but I'm going to get the message out wherever I can. So, excuse me. I do need to do the honey. I need to do the honey. I actually, Trish, I had some honey from a local beekeepers. I got it at the county fair last year, and I should have kept it in my medicine cabinet instead of using it for peanut butter tortillas. Honestly, I should have kept it because that stuff is so good for you. Locally sourced raw honey. It was the best honey I think I've ever had. So much better than the stuff you get over there, at the store. What's up, Sam Duty? You double teaming it, doing Rumble and YouTube. How about you? Hell yeah, brother or sister. I'm not going to assume your gender. God, got to be culturally sensitive. Got to be politically correct, right? That's what we do here at the Dozer Den. If you haven't checked out the dozerden.locals.com, I do have a locals community. I do need to get more active there, but I think something that would help with that is if the user interface was a little bit kinder to the user and the creator, to be honest. I have yet to do live locals exclusive content, and I need to figure out why Stripe is having a problem with me. The payment processor used on locals is Stripe, and for some reason, it doesn't like my description of the product that I provide. I figured just saying, well, I mean, my product is, locals content, live streams, entertaining information. I mean, that's about all I got, but they keep asking me to say it over and over again. So keep the honey warm. Yeah, I don't put the honey in the, I never put my honey in the fridge. It's always in the cabinet or pantry. So, as I said, I do have a little bit of an upper respiratory thing going on right now. So it's the lovely petri dish that is the public school system. That's what's got me now. The boy, he's sleeping right now, but he could wake at any moment. Thankfully, Lady Dozer is downstairs and she can go and take care of him if need be. He's a little snotty and stuff like that, but he's doing okay. He's doing a little bit better. Doing better than I am right now. Man, that boy, he blew through whatever illness it is. My old self, gosh, 34 years old, and the boy's already beaten me. He's got a good immune system. I'll give him that. I have heard the cayenne pepper is a good idea. I haven't actually done that pulled McGroin, but that's a good suggestion. I appreciate the suggestions, guys. I definitely do. I would have been going into the office tomorrow, but I'm going to be working from home tomorrow because I do not want to spread this crap to my coworkers. I actually kind of like my coworkers, so I don't want to spread the illness to them. But there was some stuff going around last week that was pretty rough, and this week too. So I'll just do my remote stuff, I suppose. But we do have some videos today, guys. We have some topics. It's only been a few days. Guys. But lots been going on. There's been a lot going on. Harris went into the lion's den. Well, as much as you can call Fox News the lion's den, honestly, a lot of the time they support the establishment just as much as CNN or MSNBC. And I used to say that, one of my favorite anchors on Fox News was Bret Baier. And I'll be damned, guys. I'll be damned. It looks like he might be trying to actually be news again. I'm I'm not sure what got what inspired him. What fire was lit up underneath his Botox-addled face. But you know what? Kudos, dude. Good job. You did a fantastic job holding her feet to the fire and actually doing what the journalists should have been doing this whole time. You actually pushed her on issues and tried to get answers. The thing is, there wasn't a lot of answer. There was a lot of vapid musing about, we'll say. Very little substance. She is the epitome of the word vacuous. That is her. And vacuous, I mean, kind of sounds like vacuum, which, matters because she really did a lot of sucking to get her way to the top. Sometimes you got to go down, guys. You got to stumble sometimes. Sometimes you got to stumble and you have to go down to rise. Just saying. I'm just saying. A lot of going down for Kamala. Whole lot. And you know what? She worked hard. She worked hard. Strong jaw, apparently. I don't know. Okay, then. But yeah, she went on with Bret Baier, and it did not go well. It did not go well. Let me check and see if I'm live on X. I'm supposed to be, but I don't see it. Son of a gun. Let's see. Okay. All right. I think I got it. Let me check and make sure. Doing quality control. All right. Good deal. I'm going to share this out so that we get some more eyes over on X. So I do love my X folks as well as my Rumble and my YouTube folks. Nope. Just a moment here. There we go. Got all the ones I needed to. There we go. I see we already had 6 people watching over there on X. Thank you so much to the people watching there. All right. Going to try to be conscientious there. Yeah, pretty much slant. It's a lot of Donald Trump. It's a lot of Orange Man bad. It's a lot of but Trump. But ma Trump. That only gets you so far. And for the people that still buy that and still lap that up like kittens to warm milk, all right, you do you, I suppose. You do you. That's where I'm at with those people. You could Some people are acting like this was her best interview. And I don't know if they actually believe that or if they're just saying that to cope. If they're just saying that to try to like pull a Jedi mind trick on the masses. Maybe they're going to assume that their followings, their leftist liberal followings, the followers won't actually watch the tape. Maybe they're thinking that they won't actually watch the 20 minutes, which apparently this was supposed to be about a 30-minute interview. And it ended up being only about 20. And apparently she was late. And they literally, towards the end of it, there are people in Bret Baier's ears pretty much saying, hey, knock it off, get it done. We're out. We're done. Be done with it. And Trish one. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. I thought that said suck and roll. Oh man. Oh my. Yeah. She didn't do a lot of achieving, a lot of objective achievements to get to where she is. We'll just say that. We'll just say that. Oh man. But yeah, we're going to talk about Kamala. We're actually going to watch. We're going to watch it, and I'm going to give my analysis of it as we go, because I was doing DoorDash yesterday while listening to it, and I had a lot to say in the car, and I think I'm still going to have a lot to say watching it the second time around. I was listening to it live on the quartering, actually, which, I've got my, issues with the quartering on some things, but I think he does a lot of good. So I like the quartering for the most part. I think he does good work. A little bit weird sometimes, but who's not? Who's not a little weird a little bit? Sometimes you notice things. It's actually from Slightly Offensive, Elijah Schaefer's show. He's a little weird too sometimes, but you know what? All perspectives are interesting. It's interesting to kind of branch out, and even the people that you might vehemently disagree with on some things, there are still quite a bit that you probably do agree with them on. So it's worth entertaining that. Definitely worth entertaining that. So we're going to watch that. and we're going to have a little response. And then we are going to get into our second topic of the night. Uh, one of the things that Kamala talks about, incessantly at times during the interview is that Donald Trump has said he's going to use the military to go after people. Well, Kamala, the Department of Defense, the DOD, just released 5240.01. It's like I guess, an update to their military lethal use of force or use of lethal force on American citizens. And I saw Viva Fry had posted something earlier where he was unsure as to whether or not there was actually a difference in the SOP, the standard operating procedure, in reference to this topic from years ago compared to now. So I don't think I think he was, I think he was a little bit off. But I mean, he might have a valid point. I might check his timeline out again and see if he had any development in his thought process on that. It's worth looking into. It's worth looking into. My goodness. All right, let me check my people here. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to read through. I've actually got it pulled up. The actual reissuance of the directive that they have. And we're gonna read through that, and we do have a clip from Ron Paul, I believe, the great one, Ron Paul, the one who should have been president. Man, he would have been a good president. We missed out. We definitely missed out on a great president in Ron Paul. They wouldn't let him in. They wouldn't let him in, and they still probably would never let somebody like Ron Paul in. Trump, he definitely wasn't as much of a bull in a china shop as I wanted the first term. I think the second term, I think we're going to see the bull, guys. I think the deep state's actually going to get the horns this time, and the lion isn't going to be tamed and turned into a meek lamb towards the end. I don't think we're going to see that this time. I think we're going to see full force, full throated fuck you to the state. That's what I hope. That's what I hope, anyways. I'm going to be positive about it. I think good things are on the way. I do. Oh, let me find this real quick. Un momento. I see what it's doing. It is not pulling up. Didn't see the same language specifically. Lethal. Good point there, Pulled McGroin. Good point. Says that I saw the original order. It was different. Didn't see the same language in it, specifically quote unquote lethal when referencing on U.S. soil. It makes me, honestly, it makes me think of what they did whenever Hurricane Katrina mandatory evacuation orders were going on. If you guys have not seen that clip, we might bring that up later. When the military, I guess it was the National Guard, was going around and literally telling people, you have to leave. And then asked, well, if they have weapons, you won't be allowed to have weapons. Excuse me, bud? Excuse me? Hell no. Hell no. And you had a bunch of country boys like sitting up on the ground like, yeah, they took our guns because they didn't like that ours were bigger than theirs. That's a Bundy situation that you might run into. Like the Bundy Ranch, where pretty much the people, they checked the feds. They checked them hard. And God bless them for it. It was needed. Let's pin this X video to my profile. I don't know why mobile is not bringing up what I want it to. It's interesting. Let me look here. I think I shared this. Okay, we're good. Yeah, X is being a little bit wonky on mobile with the live videos. Like when I pin it to the top of my profile, it will... Sometimes it'll show the video, and sometimes it just shows the little bit of a blurb that I put there and then the link for the video. So I don't know. Let me look and see what it looks like on browser on the actual computer. Let me see. Nope. Interesting. I wonder why X has been doing that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know the ways of X. It's it's a mystery to all of us. Well, me, and probably quite a few others. But so yeah, we're going to cover the military use of force. I'm going to get Ron Paul's response. Going to look through it ourselves. Actually, read it. At least read through most of it, if not all of it. Depends on how my voice is doing by the end of this. We're 19 minutes in and it's not gone yet. So maybe as long as I go a little bit lower than I normally do, it'll hang around. So we are going to roll into. I was back and forth between two topics on the third topic. There's a recent study that shows that the COVID jabs might have had quite a few extra ingredients. Let's say some extra heavy metals and whatnot. If you give a COVID shot to your kid, I think you are absolutely an idiot. I think if you give a COVID shot to your kid, I think you are your willful ignorance is child abuse. That's what I think. I think you are doing potential horrible damage to your child if you get a hot batch. And at this point, if you aren't looking into the stuff that you're putting in your kid's body, well, you know what? You're not being a good parent in that instance. I'm not saying you're a bad parent all the way around because a lot of people got fooled into some shit they didn't need to get fooled into. So I'm not gonna, hanging on all parents. But if you haven't taken the chance to do a little research on your own, and if you keep taking the line from the state on this topic specifically, then you know what? Your kids, once they look into it and they figure out what happened to them, they're probably not going to be happy with you when they're older. I'm just saying. Oh, man. Oh, nice. Bold McGroin says that Bundy ordeal was in Oregon, a little distance from where I grew up, but Eastern Oregon is very conservative and believes in the Constitution. I think I covered this on an this might have been a standalone video that I did. I don't know if this was a when I was doing live streaming yet, but isn't there, or am I thinking of Idaho? Greater Idaho, I think, is the one I'm thinking of. And I think I mentioned Oregon and talking about that there was a discussion of some counties that wanted to split off from the rest of the state, specifically away from oh gosh, darn, Portland, like the Portland area and stuff like that. I could be completely off on that, Paul McGroin, but I think I know what I'm talking about. Mighty dangerous there, huh? Let's see. Confusing X needs to spend more time over there figuring out it better. Yeah, X is usually pretty good with me. As far as the live videos, normally it pulls right up, but right now for some reason it's just showing the broadcast link, and even if I have it pinned to my profile, so I don't know. Yep, Eastern Oregon and Northern. Yep, that's right. Cool. Okay, I knew I had something there. Cool deal. Good deal. Thought I had that right. So we are going to talk about the weird things in the COVID shot. I got a little clip from actually from Elijah Schaefer. Like I said, my voice is not the best tonight with the crud going on, so I'm going to be probably relying on videos a little bit more than I normally do. I say that as I'm 23 minutes into the stream, by the way. You guys haven't figured out that I like to talk yet, have you? And we're also, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and do two topics for the third topic. We'll call it 3 and 3.5 and or 3 and 3.5. Why not? We're going to go ahead and go through the O'Keefe Media Group recent undercover expose for the guy with Meta. And I did see that Sterling went through that on Common Censored. So if you've already seen it and you want to dip out at that point, I completely understand. If you're new, if you didn't watch earlier and you want to see it here as well, you know what? That's cool too, because I will have my own very, very unique perspectives. Over here sound like Gollum. I don't even know if I can do a Gollum right now. Stupid vacuous. We wants the precious, but we once has the precious. Okay, I got it. I can still do Gollum. If that didn't wake you up, hopefully that didn't wake up my boy on the other side of the wall there. But yeah. Didn't expect a Gollum tonight, did you? But it happened. Actually helped clear my throat a little bit. Yeah, maybe I should do that more often. Oh, we are going to go ahead and talk through that undercover expose as well. We've all been told that it was just conspiracy nuttiness to think that big tech companies were censoring conservatives or censoring the right And we've all known that this is true. Now you have people actually admitting it. And it's crazy whenever they try to say um whenever they try to say that the big tech is not censoring conservatives, they're censoring the left just as much as the right. It's usually a thing where, oh, we investigated ourselves and found we did nothing wrong. We investigated ourselves and found that actually, you know what, we're not biased at all. Well, of course you're going to get that result when you're investigating yourself. Of course you're going to find that you're not the one actually at fault when you're investigating yourself. Because it's very unlikely when an organization is actually looking into itself that it will actually do an objective job of it. So, yeah, fun times, fun times. For the fourth topic, for the fourth topic, um, North Carolina man appears to have had his warehouse commandeered by the federal government. FEMA pretty much took his warehouse away from him. I think the guy is an artist of sorts. And I saw Steve Baker from The Blaze slash Turning Point. Um, Steve Baker actually reached out to the guy and I had a conversation with him. I've not seen any updates on this yet. If I see it when we're doing the stream, then we'll cover it. But this guy posted a little discussion, a little kind of 5-minute rant, talking about what happened, highlighting some of the crap that is still going on in North Carolina. North Carolina, guys, we can't forget about these people. We can't forget about the extreme loss of not just life, which someone said. I saw Jack Posobiec say that the death toll is up at 300. Woefully, woefully understated death toll. There are people that are probably never going to be found. And at a certain point, the people that are missing are going to have to be added to the death count. It's a muddy tomb in some places in North Carolina and in Tennessee and in probably upper northern areas of South Carolina, where that flooding was so rampant that it moved sides of mountains. The power of nature, whenever it gets on one, is truly terrifying. And if you've seen some of the videos, and I'm sure y'all have, um, it's just baffling how quick nature can pretty much just wreck you. And we think we've got our structures, we build these large buildings and structures and infrastructure, bridges and things like that, and we think it's something cool, we think it's something special, till a little bit of rain comes along and says, yeah, what bridge? Yeah, what house? It's truly horrifying, truly horrifying. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. There's a eminent domain kind of issue there, I would think. I believe that's in the Fifth Amendment. It's not the only, the right to remain silent, right to not incriminate yourself. The right against protection against self-incrimination is in the Fifth Amendment, but I believe eminent domain is as well. I believe that is in the Fifth. The people were bringing up the Third Amendment, I believe, quartering of soldiers. Well, FEMA is not really a soldier apparatus, but they are government representatives, so I can understand why someone might apply the Third Amendment to that, a Third Amendment violation. But I think you have a lot better chance with the Fifth Amendment, because he said that he wasn't getting any compensation whatsoever. They said he had like 20 days or 30 days or something like that. It technically, I guess, the government can apply eminent domain and come in and actually make you leave as long as they provide just compensation. I, for one, think that's bullshit. I think we need an amendment to get rid of that. I don't think the federal government should be able to come in and just say, "Oh, you got to go." But guess what? We're going to go ahead and throw some cash at you. See ya. You thought you had this warehouse for your business? Nope. You thought you had this land for your use? Nah. Nah, we're the federal government. Fuck off. No, that shouldn't be a thing. Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. What's up, Tulip McGroin? It's the best. It's the best groin. Tulips. Yep. Oh. Oh gosh, dang. Okay, I should have been paying attention to the chat. I was on one for a second, wasn't I? Oh, let's see. What did I miss? Went to jail 700 days for standing up. Oh, you guys talking about the Bundy thing? Oh, Trish won 10,000 body bags brought in, and they immediately called for another. I heard that. Trish won. It's it's gonna put Hurricane Katrina to shame. It's already put Hurricane Katrina to shame. But you don't see a lot about it yet. You don't see a lot about it right now. It's one of those things that it was a blip in the news cycle, right? It was a blip in the news cycle for a second, and it seems to be that the public conscience is starting to move on from that. We can't do that. We can't move on from these people that are still struggling, still suffering. Hell, Sully only got power back in South Carolina, cell phone signal back in South Carolina just not. I think it was last Sunday or last Monday, I believe, and that had been a week, no cell signal. Dude was running a generator to stream with me that night. Freaking Chadley of you, Sully. I think he's actually on a stream right now on Real Hard Truths. Follow Sully, by the way, on the Gun Club here on Rumble and Real Hard Truths. Gun Club's more gun-related information, of course, as the name would indicate, and Real Hard Truths is more political stuff, kind of like the politicking stuff that I talk a lot about here. If I can get the words out, my goodness. I'm going to try to take your advice, Trish One, about spitting out the junk. Don't really want to do it on the stream, so you might see me turn my camera off every now and then. I got a couple cans over here. Never did chewing tobacco, so I'm not. I don't really ever have spit cans or anything like that. But yeah, try to take your advice. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all looking out for the bulldozer. If you guys are just joining the stream, don't forget to smash that like button, follow the channel, share out the stream if you want to spread the word, if you want to bring more killdozers and kamatsus into the warm embrace of the Dozer Den. Go ahead and share it out. Comment. Do all the things. If anybody would ever like to donate to the Dozer Den, Rumble rants are available. Super chats apparently on YouTube, I think. I don't know. And if you are not inclined to use any of those, you can subscribe to this Rumble channel for $5 a month. You can subscribe to the Dozer Den, BillDozer74 here on Rumble for $5 a month. And when you comment in the comment section, your name is lit up in this beautiful MAGA red. A beautiful MAGA red hue will just embrace your comments, and they will stick out and shine with positivity and patriotism. You will also get subscriber-only emotes when you subscribe to BillDozer74. When you subscribe to the Dozer Den, you will get subscriber-only emotes, emojis, one might say. There, I think, are 12 or 16, I think 16 subscriber only ones. And then of course I have other emotes as well. If you're on browser, that is, if you are on browser, you will see those. And I can't find it in the Rumble app, the option to subscribe. I've only seen that in browser. I was on Brave browser earlier watching Common Censored because the Rumble app was being weird. And I love Rumble, but they've got some stuff that they've got to fix. And part of the app is better than it was for sure. And I watch it most of the time, but it was just getting so wonky with me earlier. I said, all right, go to Brave browser. And if you open up the live chat, there is a subscribe button. Or if you do want to join the locals community, you can do that as well. Or either or, whichever. Nobody ever has to donate to the Dozer Den, though. Don't ever put yourself out to throw a couple bucks my way, okay? But every little bit is appreciated and most welcome. I do have my Venmo. If people are not comfortable using Super Chats, subscribing, or Rumble rants, I do have my Venmo pinned to the top in Rumble, and I have it in the post on X. I will make a post on the X broadcast later with my Venmo in there, I suppose, if anybody wants to do that. Probably whenever we're watching one of the videos, because like I said, I'm a little bit under the weather today, so I do see that we're up to nearly 30 people, so thank you guys so much for watching. Oh yeah. Let's see. Making sure I don't miss anything. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, before we get into the full course here, let's go ahead and go to the Rumble Ad Center. And you know what? Let's go ahead and read a Rumble Premium ad. Hope you guys bear with me for just a moment, and hopefully I make this entertaining while reading through this this ad here for Rumble Premium. What? It won't let me do it. Weird. Huh. It says offer does not match billing earning. What? Well, I was going to read one, but I mean, if you want to do Rumble Premium, I guess go ahead and do it. But I'm not reading an ad read for something that won't let me do it. Oh, never mind. It worked. All right, so let's go ahead and do this ad read real quick. This sponsorship is from Rumble, one that is incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built a platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversations or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they felt to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you, the people. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked by governments like France and Brazil and Russia. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They really don't get much of that. Watching this show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, one major way that you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is currently offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO. That's STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, well, you know what? I'm just happy you're watching this show here on Rumble. Thank you very much for that. Worth a little bit of change, I suppose. A little bit of change. That was like 62 cents worth, apparently, according to Rumble Ad Center. Hooray! I'm rolling in it, guys. I'm rolling in it. Audio tapes. Ooh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Slant? Oh, what did I miss? What did I miss? Release the tapes of what? Talking about metatapes? I missed something. We'll see if it pops up again in chat. You're talking about Santilli? I watched Pete Santilli for a while there, but I haven't watched him in a while. Oh no. Oh, the Bundy Ranch. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that Bundy Ranch thing was interesting. That was a really cool thing to see that people actually stand up to the federal government, and then the federal government had to back the hell down. Although they are still trying to go after the Bundy family. I think it's one of the sons. He was either put in jail or something. There was a lot going on recently. About a few months ago, I saw that really just concerning stuff, to be honest. But. All right, guys. So I think we have pretty much done our appetizer stuff, gone through and given you a little bit of a taste of what we're going to talk about. Done a little bit of we've touched on things. We've touched on these topics. Let's go ahead and get into the first topic. We are going to go ahead and watch the 20-minute or so interview. I think it's 26 minutes, something like that. There might be a little bit extra here. I hope it's not ads. If it is, we'll fast forward through them. But we are going to go ahead and watch the Harris and Bret Baier interview. I'm going to provide my perspective on it as we go. I'll try not to pause it too many times during the broadcast here, but I got a lot to say about a lot of things, guys. And so yeah, I'll probably be talking a little bit. But let's go ahead and pull this up. And make it big. There we go. And you guys let me know in the chat if the audio is good.
Issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx. Vice President, thank you for the time.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Brett.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a number? Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay, the point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your
And-
Homeland Security Secretary said that
Well, no,
85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have
It's a
an
rough
immigration
estimate of
system
6 million people
that
have been
needs to be-
released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question. I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the Chips and Science Act, before the bipartisans.
But you wouldn't have needed a bill. You don't need a bill, period. You guys went in and got rid of the executive orders. You canceled out Trump's border policy with executive orders as well. So you got rid of them, the ones that he had, and you put in your own. And then so if anyone, the projection is all they have. That's all these leftist twats have is projection. No, you guys caused the problem, and then you are the Hegelian dialectic. That is all you do. You create the problem so that you can say you can make a solution for it. You perpetuate the issue so that you can say that you have the solution. It's a bunch of bullcrap, and you know what? People are actually waking up to it. At least I hope they are.
Safer Communities Act, the first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called
And-
the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021. It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the elite. Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding,
But
please?
here-
Oh, she
But
started
you have
off.
to
Can
let
I
me
finish?
You had
Let
the
me
White
finish.
House and the House and the Senate,
I'm
and
in
they
the
didn't
middle
bring up
of
that bill.
responding to the point you're raising,
Okay.
and I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
We
She's such a
recognized
cunt.
from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings, what we needed to do to deal with points of entry between border entry points. That's the work we did, and we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort.
Agreed, Trish Run. Such a rude witch. Sam Duty, I wish she would finish. You know what? She doesn't deserve to finish, Sam Duty. She doesn't Y'all take that however you want. I'm going to leave that there.
Including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, to actually strengthen the border. That border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the Border Patrol agents supported the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people. It would have allowed us to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done
Yes, ma'am.
as the Attorney General, former Attorney General of a border state.
Madam Vice President, a couple of things.
Prosecuted trafficking of drugs,
Six-
guns, and human beings. And
six
Donald Trump,
Democrats-
but let me just finish.
Six
And
Democrats
Donald
voted
Trump
against that bill.
learned about that bill and told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem.
Do they have the audio tapes from Trump calling people and saying to end this bill? Where do they get this?
Instead of fixing a problem. And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions, and they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue,
I hear you.
but actually is focused on fixing
Six
it.
Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungary Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Bret,
those families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There is no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true
Why'd they occur?
that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9.
She completely missed it. He said, this is before your bullshit, before all the politicking, this happened.
Months that we would have had.
Hey, what's up, Urs? Glad to see you. Forgot what your actual name was on here, but I'm seeing Bret does suck. Typically, I agree, but in this one, he's actually doing a decent job, so I'll take it. He lost me a little bit for the coverage of the last election, but yeah, this one he does pretty decent.
More border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
To ensure that no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually can.
And I see we got ourselves a massive Rumble rant from Lord of the Ree, $1, and then he hit us with another one. Thank you so much, Lord of the Ree. Glad you're joining us. Let's see what we got here. Lord of the Ree says, taking a break from working on music to smoke a cig, so I'll be here for a bit. Working on a cover of Forever Halloween by The Maine. Perfect for relaxing after taking the kids trick-or-treating. Hey, cool deal. Check out Lord of the Ree. It's got some great music, some original stuff, some covers. I think he has some original stuff. I know for a fact he's got covers. But he has a channel here on Rumble as well. Thank you so much for the donation, Lord of the Ree. Glad to see you here, and glad to see you throwing some dollar bills at me. Dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills. Thank you so much for the contribution to the Dozer Den. And let's see, it's Long Walks Music. Check them out. Long Walks Music. It's adequate. I like that. I like that very much. Thank you so much for the donations. Very much appreciated. Every little bit helps.
Cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election, because there was a solution, Bret.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss.
Nope.
I'm so sorry for her loss.
You didn't apologize. You didn't take accountability. You whizzily, lawyerly cunt. You horrible, horrible, horrible woman. Ugh. Oh, that bothers me. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry you feel that way. That's some passive-aggressive bullshit right there. Screw her. Take ownership of what you did. Your policies, your actions are responsible for those people dying. Own it. And say you screwed up. That matters to the American people.
Loss. Sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer
in all fairness, I told you, I feel awful for what she and her family have experienced.
During that time, you said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before. Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed. We need more. I was just down at the border talking with border agents, and they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Bret.
Well,
that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question.
But
there were
that's how the
90
system
plus
works.
executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because there's other things to talk about, but you frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated, and I get it. They want support. They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard. They're working around the clock. I get it.
There's a lot of people that look back at what you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care. Do you still support those things?
I don't think she
Listen,
does
that
really
was
get
5
it.
years
It's just full
ago,
of
and I'm
garbage.
very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
If that's the case, you chose a running mate, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
We are very clear, and I am very clear, as is Tim Walz, that we must support and enforce federal law, and that is exactly what we will do.
You know, real quick, I saw that. See, was it Lord of the Ree? Someone brought, yeah, Lord of the Ree. You brought up Princess Bride earlier, and you know, I agree. I agree that there's something very important here that we need to bring up, and this is the best response to Kamala Harris. It definitely is. Definitely is. Just utter.
Liar! 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 Liar!
All right. All the time. All the time. Oh no. I lost my earbud there. Let's get back to the stream here. Back to the stream. That's it. Oh. Might want to actually share my screen again. How about that? Not like I'm a boomer or anything.
Border crossings, like you said in 2019.
I do not believe in decriminalizing border crossings, and I've not done that as vice president. I will not do that as president.
So these are evolutions that you've had.
But let's be very clear. I'm the only person who's running for president who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations, from the Sinaloa cartel to the Guadalajara cartel to people who have trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people and cross our border with the intent of doing us harm and cross our border illegally. And I will do that work as vice president. I take that work quite seriously.
This is a time when
Only the
voters,
best.
especially here
Only
in
the best.
Pennsylvania, are inundated with commercials and ads.
I've got a Stream Deck apparently app kind of thing that works with this mic. I need to actually download it and tinker with it, and that way maybe I can actually have some like audio and video like queued up to be a little bit quicker so that I can get a nice zing, a nice flow in there.
They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But many of them add noise, but a few of them seem to break through. This particular one from the Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners, every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
I will follow the law. And it's a law that Donald Trump actually followed. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report.
Nope.
That under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries were available on a medical necessity basis.
Those are not medically necessity. They're not medically necessary. These types of things are completely, they're plastic surgery. There's nothing needed about them.
To people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing, stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries
you know what? You got to take responsible for what happened in your administration.
Yeah, no surgeries happened in this presidency.
It's in black and white.
Would you still advocate for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassignment
I will
surgeries?
follow the law, just as I think Donald Trump would say he did.
You would have a say as president.
Like I said, I think he spent $20 million on those ads, trying to create a sense of fear in the voters because he actually has no plan in this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people.
Lord of the Ree, Rumble does have a place to put in media, but I've not actually gotten it figured out yet. I need to actually make some video clips. Got to actually do that. I've got some good ideas that I wanted to put in there and actually load up. Rumble does have a spot in studio for media. I just need to actually get after it and do it. I'm a busy guy sometimes. I am a busy guy. I do have a 9 to 5, so I do need to put more effort into that, though. So I'll get after it. I will. I'll get after it.
Whereas at $20 million in that on an issue that, as it relates to the biggest issues that affect the American people, it's really quite remote. And again, his policy was no different. Look at where we are, though.
They say
on plans for the American people, I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing. I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy. I am offering a plan that is about taking care of young parents and giving them the support they need. My plans for the economy will strengthen the economy, as have been reviewed.
Tell us how. Don't just say it's going to happen. Say how it's going to happen. That's where Trump beats your ass, Kamala. Trump actually talks about things he's going to do as far as like lowering the prices. Lowering gas prices is where you got to start. You got to get the energy costs down. And then that will trickle, which it's like a ripple. Let's go with ripple instead of trickle because they don't like trickle. Let's go with a ripple effect. When you lower the cost of energy, everything else is going to fall in line with that. Now, it is a little simplistic, but there are other things that he's going to be doing as well, talking about general tariffs, policies, interacting with other countries. He actually has a plan. You have platitudes. That's all you have. You vapid woman.
Viewed by 16 Nobel laureates, Goldman Sachs, Moody's, and recently the Wall Street Journal.
Deference to authority.
Which have all studied our plans and have indicated my plans for our economy would strengthen our economy, his would make them weaker, would ignite inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. Those are the facts.
Why do you think more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at
Salty saying, "What's up, you savage lad?" Salty saying, "Hey, Bill, listening, smash the like. Smash the like. Do it now. Smash the like button." She had 4 handlers shut it down and ran away. It's not a win. No, it's not. It is definitely not a win. There are some people that are in an alternate universe, though, that think it was. I don't think that they're actually being honest because anybody who looks at this objectively sees that she flounders. She falters. she fucks it up. Yep. She did not do well. She's not done well here, and she continues. It gets worse. She gets a little bit animated as we go along here, and she gets frustrated when she can't actually just, filibuster.
An analysis of our plans for what we would do as President of the United States. It has been clear to those who study and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the divisiveness and the type of rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward. And they want a president who has a plan for the future and a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that. His plan would be, again, to give tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
It's interesting you said turn the page, Madam Vice President. You were asked on 2 different shows last week what, if anything, you would do differently than President Biden. Here's what you said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I know.
7-10
so
gaming.
that would be one change in terms of, but also I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
That's all she's got. I'm not Biden. I'm not Trump. If that's all you've got, Kamala, you ain't got nothing. What's up, JJR and the McGroin Nation? With Paul McGroin and others, if I'm missing you. I didn't post to the McGroin channel. Dang it, the last couple times I tried to, it wasn't live, so I forgot to this time. Yeah, I'll try to get it at some point there, though. I'll post it in the comments later. I'll go to McGroin and post a link, and if it's live, anyways. Don't know what was going on with the lives. I saw there were a couple that were at like 13 hours, one at 12 hours, and then it was just kind of not going live there for a minute. Not sure what was going on there, but we love McGroin Nation. Always appreciate you guys joining. And if you guys have not smashed that like button yet, smash that like button. Share this content out if you deem it worthy. If you've not been here before, well, guess what, guys? We are now streaming twice a week. Stmonday nights at 9:30 p.m. Central and Thursday nights. We're going to keep the Thursday night at 9:30 Central as well. Going to probably start tamping it down a little bit, at least on Mondays. Mondays for sure is going to be about 2.5 hours. Probably not going to be going over that. Thursdays usually hang around 3 hours, so that's probably what it's going to be. But and the kids don't have school tomorrow, so but I do have work at 8 a.m., so I do have to take that into account. I do have adult things to do. Sadly, it happens. And if you want to support the Dozer Den, you can send Rumble Rants, you can send Super Chats, I think. You can donate, you can subscribe, or you can donate through Venmo. I've got my Venmo link in the pinned comments. I'm going to put that in X as well here in a minute, and that way it's there for people to look at. If you want to, nobody ever has to, but if every little bit helps, and much appreciated always. So let's get back to this.
So you're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency. And like every new president that comes into office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership. I, for example, am someone who...
Shit, I was muted. Damn. What new generation? You're fucking 60-something years old. You're... Okay, you're not 90. Good for you.
Who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade in which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed.
She almost can't talk in anything other than her slogans. That's about it. And then there we go. A new way forward. Campaign slogan. Yeah. You were the vice president, though. You've been part of this administration.
And implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and an approach to leadership that suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Madam Vice President, more than 70% of people
that is about turning the page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than 70% of people.
Oh, I missed the base stoner. Thank you for joining. Glad to see you, bud.
Will tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last
Okay, that was beautiful. We're gonna go back a couple. We're gonna go back a little bit on that one. That was beautiful, Bret Baier.
Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking
I love it. I actually don't. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about, bitch? The fuck? What are you saying? Did you just have any original or clear thought there? Really? Oh my God.
about is that over the last decade,
But
people
you're the
have
lever of
become,
power.
but listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president, one, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable.
And I see we got another Rumble rant. Lord of the Ree tearing it up with the Rumble rants tonight. Thank you so much, bud. What do we got here? But we need to do something about the rhetoric coming from the far right. White supremacist, domestic terrorist, extremists. They're an existential threat to democracy. That's as best as I can do reading that. Oh, that hurt my eyes, Lord of the Ree. Hope that was worth $1, man. Thank you so much for donating to the Dozer Den. Much appreciated, Lord of the Ree. Good on you. Good on you.
That he is dangerous, and that people are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends full time demeaning and engaging in personal grievances, and it being about him instead of the American people. People are tired of that.
If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be.
This right here, guys. This right here. Watch her inflection. Her inflection's been kind of this, but she really turns it up the, believe me when I'm talking to you with a higher inflection at the end of my voice. You've got to believe me. Believe me. Come on, I'm telling the truth. That's what she does. Watch this. She did it, but she turns it up on 10 for the rest of the interview. It's pitiful.
It is not supposed to be a
So
cakewalk
are they misguided, the
for anyone.
50%?
Listen,
Are they stupid?
Oh,
What is
God,
it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president.
What's up, Minnie Mel? Didn't see you earlier. Glad you're watching tonight. Thanks for popping in. Don't know if you, I guess you might have been watching on Sully's stream earlier on Real Hard Truths. So thanks for coming over here. Didn't see if there was a raid or not. I think Sully, I don't know if he's still going or not, but I think he was mentioning trying to do a raid, but not trying to rush Sully or nothing like that. But all right, let's get back to this.
Today, Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Bret, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
That's not what he was telling you he was going to show. You fucking idiot. He said, we asked that question, and here's his response to that. Ya dumb bitch.
He was asked
No,
about that
no,
specific...
that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to
that
you,
was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about.
Yeah, you got to do the way you do a raid. It's wonky, man. Thank you for trying. I appreciate you, bud. Thanks for sending people over my way regardless, Sully. Hope you had a good stream, bud. Thank you for sending people over, and thanks for the watch and the interaction in the chat there. Good to see you, Sully. You guys go follow Sully, the Gun Club, and Real Hard Truths. Great content. Great content. I don't get to watch as much as I'd like. Busy guy. I do try to hop around in the chats, though. I do some chat hopping. Said doo-doo. I wasn't going to let that sit. Nope. Had to point it out. But she right now, she is literally not... She's having a conversation, an argument with somebody who's not there. She's hitting a point that was presented that it's just in her head. What an idiot. What's up? I saw somebody new pop up. Masculine Cargo 7 Games. Oh, and calling us uneducated is not belittling who support Trump. Yep.
Turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the president of the United States, in the United States of America, should be...
We're a constitutional republic with democratic processes. That's what we are.
Willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States.
Well, Mark Milley's a super faggot, so fuck him. And fuck you for acting like he's worth a damn. Fuck Mark Milley and fuck these people in the administration that he had before. Trump, thank God, he has come out and said that he took the advice of some people he should not have taken the advice of. That, as an independent, which is what I am, yeah, I lean right on a lot of things. I do. But I am an independent-minded individual. And the fact that he came out and said that, you know what, he took some bad advice and he's going to fix it next time, that means a lot to people like me. And I think that means a lot to all Americans. So, fuck Milley. Fucking, oh, I want to address my white rage. Fucking shut up, you self-flagellating white. You pathetic white man. Ugh. Fucking can't stand people who hate their own race. I can't stand people who do that.
States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask you this, Madam Vice President. You call Donald Trump.
The significance
you
of that.
call Donald Trump He's misguided. You say now
He's
he
unstable.
is unstable.
He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment.
Oh, that was bad. Did you guys see that pause? Oh, I probably went back a little bit too bad.
He's misguided. You say now
He's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers
concerned
that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental...
Yes, Wendy, and when they fly through the air, their buttholes whistle. I stole that from another comedian.
faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
Oh my God. She's still saying that he has the judgment. What a good God.
And Donald Trump
but
is,
you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
after George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out. Even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact. That is a fact.
Madam Vice President, 2 more things. You were asked on 60 Minutes about the biggest threat that the world faces, that the U.S. faces. This is what you said.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
A number of experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that. But you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics?
And this is just more evidence that they want World War III. They want Iran to be the next one. This is where it's heading, guys. This is where it's heading. I don't doubt that Iran probably does want to take out Trump. I mean, he kind of took out some of their biggest guys, but this is just more evidence that this is where we're going.
Who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the #1 threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October, and then several hours on each occasion that Iran posed a threat to Israel, I was there. Most recently in the Situation Room, in the most recent attack, working with the heads of our military and doing what America must always do to defend.
She's good at working with heads, guys. Good at working with heads.
And to support Israel in its requirement to defend itself, and to give American support to be able to allow Israel to have the resources to defend itself against attack, including from Iran and Iran's terrorist proxies in the region.
Right.
And that
but those
is,
proxies were getting
and
funded
my
by
commitment
Iran.
to that is unyielding and unwavering.
Critics just say that you either relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions.
Let's go back to
oil
Donald
profits.
Trump,
Hold on.
who pulled out of a deal that would have actually put
But here are
Iran in check.
the estimates
and
in
then
billions
it was during Donald Trump's
that go
administration
towards the
that
Iran regime.
that we had an American military base that was attacked, where American soldiers suffered traumatic brain injuries, and Donald Trump dismissed them as headaches, not to mention
Madam
how
Vice
Donald
President,
Trump has
all of this money
has treated
that
and
has
talked
gone
about
in the
America's
past few
military
years.
and military service people,
Critics
calling
say
them
that it goes to
suckers and
Hezbollah,
losers,
Hamas.
has
Oh my God.
diminished.
The suckers and losers thing is so fucking bullshit. I had not a neighbor, but I live out in the country, so somebody a mile away we consider a neighbor. I don't know if any of y'all can relate to that, but literally, I guess the guy's a veteran. And just because you're a veteran doesn't mean you automatically earn respect from me. I appreciate your service. Thank you for that. I respect your service, but doesn't make you a good person and doesn't make you a smart person or somebody that is necessarily worthy of respect. And he made a sign saying, "I'm a vet, not a sucker." And I just, every time I saw it, I was just like, you're such an idiot, man. Like you just accepted that. You accepted that. Even though you had people that hate Trump, like Bolton said, yeah, Trump didn't say that. Multiple people said there's no way he would have said that. But no, they still fucking say it. Because that's what they do. They lie. Liar! Liar!
And who we're talking over each other. I apologize.
I would like that we would have a conversation that is grounded in full assessment of the facts, which includes, I think this interview is supposed to be about the choices that your viewers should be presented about this election, and the contrast is important.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the subject of Iran, I am offering what should be an important contrast that is presented for folks to make a decision
and there are critics
that they feel.
who look at what the administration did and say and think differently. Madam Vice President, they're wrapping me very hard here. I hope you got to say what you wanted to say about Donald Trump. There are a lot of things.
There's more to say. I have much more to say,
There are a lot of things that people want to learn about you and your policies, and that's why
I invite everyone to go to kamalaharris.com, and you will see that I have 80 pages of policies that are quite comprehensive and should be accessible to anyone who would like to read them. And it includes what I intend to do about affordable housing, what I intend to do about small businesses, what I do.
And that's why we
to
invited you here
our economy,
to see where you were in 2019 and where you are now.
America's military and ensure we have the most lethal and best fighting force in the world.
Madam Vice President,
and
they're giving me a hard rap
Well,
here.
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ooh. Oh, and that little smile he did when he came back, though. That was okay. That was great. I like that. I like that. That was good. That was something, guys. That was something. My goodness. She didn't do well. She didn't do well at all. Not well at all. And again, I mean, pretty much the only real response that you can have to that is it's very apt. It's very apt.
Liar! 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 Liar!
Yes. Yes, indeed. That's all I got. That's all I got for her. She's such a liar. She's so full of crap. Hey, what's up, Cheddar Steve? Good to see you. Yeah, what laws? That's a good point. Miss Minnie Mel, let's see. Has been out so deep lately. Oh yeah, Miss Minnie Mel. Sorry, guys, I was gonna mute myself before making nasty noises like that. Yeah, the stuff about her grandma, the one that actually died before she was like an adult, but she has a picture with her saying it's Grandma Basil or something like that, I think. But Grandma Basil died when she was young. Well, then who's that woman that she's taking a picture with? Candace Owens a little bit interesting on some things, but that deep dive she did into Kamala's ancestry, that's fascinating and concerning. And I wonder what black woman was she taking a picture with? Oh, no, Cheddar. Okay, Cheddar Steve, I agree with you for the most part. I agree with you that Bret Baier is weak, and I have been pissed off at Bret Baier since his response to the election stuff. And yeah, I agree for the most part. I think in this one he did a pretty damn good job. I mean, he could have been a little bit more forceful in some things and pushed her a little bit harder, but that is the most we have seen Kamala get pressed on something. And I appreciated the heck out of it. It was good to see. It was refreshing to actually see somebody push back. But in general, yeah, you're right. He did kind of suck for the last 3 years. But that one right there, he's going to end up messing around, and I think he did a decent job. I'm going to give him props. I'm going to give props where props are due. So I'll say he did a good job there. She did not. She floundered. She can't do anything but sloganeer. You know you're dumb when Bret Baier makes you look retarded. Yeah, I agree, Lord of the Ree. I agree. It's an astute observation. Astute. Yeah. Cheddar Steve, I do agree he could have done better, but I mean, that was a lot better than we have seen. It was a lot better than some of the stuff we've seen from ABC or CBS or MSNBC, just literally on their knees. For her. Praying unto their Lord Kamala Harris. It's a bad look. But they keep doing it. They keep freaking doing it. All right. That we've actually got a couple responses from Bret Baier about that their interview he did. He's got a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. And here's a quick little clip from him. Oop. Let me bring this up real quick here. Show you some of my bookmarks here.
Vice President, thank you for the time.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Brett.
I think this is a different take. I think she had a mission that she wanted to do, and maybe she wanted to have a viral moment. She wanted to have a pushback. She came to Fox News and she wanted to have a go after Donald Trump viral moment that plays on a lot of other channels and on social media. And I think she may have gotten that. I actually think this is.
So that's an interesting perspective there. I don't know why I bookmarked that twice. Here's another one. Here we go.
Let me
make this a little bit bigger for you.
When the kicker in football, they call a timeout right before he's going to kick the field goal. They're icing the kicker. So we were supposed to start at 5 p.m. This was the time they gave us. Originally, we were going to do 25 or 30 minutes. They came in and said, well, maybe 20. So it was already getting whittled down. And then the vice president showed up about 5:15. We were pushing the envelope to be able to turn it around for the top of the 6 o'clock. So that's how it started. And I could tell when we started talking that she was going to be tough to redirect without me trying to interrupt. I did this with President Obama. At one point, I just said, Mr. President, I know you like the filibuster. I just didn't even have the chance to sometimes redirect in those ways. I had a lot of other questions. When the kicker.
Yep. They tried to nerf it. Oh, apparently we've got. Okay. Real quick. We're diverting because I saw Clint Russell, by the way, good follow on X. Usually follows you back if you have some original content. I guess there's what is the dinner called? It's the one where they like roast each other. Let's see. It's apparently what is Trump doing? What is Trump doing? Okay, we're on a diversion, guys. We're squirreling, but you got to give the God Emperor his due. You got to. Let's see what jokes Trump's making out here.
There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris.
The correspondence dinner.
But I'm not worried about them at all because they're white.
Hey, what do you say?
About them at all because they're white. Sound like it? Yeah, White Dudes for Harris doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me.
Oh no!
Every one of those people.
It was a cuck joke. It was a cuck joke.
And as you may have seen, Kamala did an interview on Fox News yesterday. It went so poorly for her that the Democrats have been forced to install another 100 drop boxes throughout the city. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Every one of those people are voting for me. And as you may have seen, Kamala did an interview on Fox News yesterday. It went so poorly.
All right, that was the zinger. That was the zinger right there. That was a damn good one, Trump. Trump just made a cuck joke. Trump made a cuck joke. You see, the problem is the cuck chair is not clean. It's not a clean chair. There's horrible things that happen in the cuck chair. There'll be no cuck chairs in my administration. No cuck chairs in the White House. No cuck chairs. You're all a bunch of cucks staying at home. Oh God, that's awesome. We're up to 40 people watching right now on Rumble. If you guys have not smashed that like button, smash the like button. Smash it, caress it, tap it. Go ahead and come up behind the like button and start giving it a shoulder massage and take a big, deep breath into the hair. Oh, wait, that's Joe Biden. Don't do that. I was just following the president's example, guys. The president. Smash that like button, though. And you know what? If you want to hit it more than once, at least hit it 3 times. Because if you hit it twice, well, that cancels it out, guys. And, we can't have that. You got to have your like shown. So hit it at least 3 times. If you have to hit it, if you get excited, you hit it more than once, hit it at least 3 times so it shows up, okay? All right, let's see what else we got here. Another one from Trump here at the Correspondents' Center.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
Oh, shit!
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
That was fun. That's why he's got the tampons, huh? Oh my God, that is gold. That is gold. God, I love Trump so much. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. I'm glad I checked on Clint Russell's feed for a second there so I could get those. Absolutely fucking savage, guys. Absolutely savage. What's up, JJR? I forgot to read out your comment earlier. The Bulldozer. If that's what you want in JJR. If not, well, you got it anyways. Let me tell you something about the Bulldozer. When you come into the Dozer Den, what you're going to get is you're going to get some information and you're going to get some entertainment. And it's going to be the best there is. All right, that was my Macho Man, Randy Savage. I don't know how good that was. Oh, God. Oh, that was so good. So good. That was a badass Hulk. I was going more. I was trying to do Macho Man, but that works as Hulk. Yeah, they're very similar. There was a very similar presentation back in those days. You see, the cream will rise to the top. So much steroids back in those days of the wrestling times. Those days of wrestling. God, words are hard, guys. Words are hard. Oh man, so we turned a 20-minute clip into an hour there. Not sure how that happened, guys. I'm not sure how that happened. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And those last 2 clips, my God, those were good. Snap into a Slim Jim. Oh man. Gosh. Okay, so let's see. We covered all that. That was a disaster for Kamala. Anyone who's saying that was actually something good, there are some trying to say that she shows that she can actually take tough questions and handle herself. And Bret Baier embarrassed himself and was very rude. The dude was just doing his job. I don't see how that was rude. That wasn't even close to the attitude that Trump gets whenever he is interviewed by somebody from the mainstream, from the corporate, which Fox is mainstream, but like your typical mainstream. that wasn't even close to the vitriol he receives from them. If you guys watched that Bloomberg interview where he pretty much was just roasting that man to his face, that was great. I loved it. I loved watching that. It was excellent. Excellent Trump. That was a good Trump. Putting the reporters in their place. All right. Wamala. Well, all right. All right, Lord of the Ree. All right, I like that. All right. We got take it easy on Wamala. She's going through menopause. That's good. I had never heard Wamala. I like it. I'm gonna steal that, Lord of the Ree. I'm gonna use that at the workplace tomorrow. You hate overlapping shows? Oh dang, CW. Who am I overlapping with? My apologies for the overlap, but it's what I do. It's what I do. Oh, there's another show starting. Hey, if you got to leave and go to another show, that's completely fine. I get it. I get it. Nothing wrong with that. If you want to pop in and do a little chat, hop in here and there, that's fine. That's fine. Don't ever feel like you got to stay here on the Dozer Den, but hopefully I keep your attention to keep you entertained enough that you don't want to go astray, that you don't want to stray from the Dozer Den. You want to stay in the warm embrace of the Dozer Den. CW. But it's all good, man. It's all good. Say fuck the other show. No, yeah, right now, fuck those guys. Oh man, I was watching Adonis Paul last night. Holy crap. It's Wednesday. It's a Rumble Wednesday. Even though Rumble was having issues, or maybe his internet charter or something. I forgot what it was. They were having problems. Stream had issues. Adonis Paul is a little risky, but fun. It's a fun show if you haven't checked it out. Chat gets a little bit wild. That's all right, though. That's all right. Some good folks over there in the Adonis Paul chat. Loving the free speech aspect of Rumble, even though they will censor some things. They definitely will. So, all right. We are going to go ahead and roll into our next topic, guys. One of the things that Kamala was talking about in the interview there, right? She was talking about President Trump talking about the authorization of military force on the American people for people who disagree. She said that was what she said, anyways. And I don't know why things are playing when I didn't want them to play. Don't do that, X. We have a brief clip, and we're going to go ahead and read through it. We're going to get Ron Paul's response first, because you got to give the OG, you got to give him his props. He has a very measured response to this, but turns out, guys, it looks like the military is. I hope this isn't the case. I hope this is just hyperbole, and I'm taking it incorrectly. But it seems like they are getting ready to be able to use military force against American citizens in a lethal way, in a lethal fashion, much more easily than they have in the past. Because I think there has been situations where they would authorize lethal force from the military. But it seems like it's getting expanded just a little bit. What's up, Castro? Good to see you, bud. Thanks for joining. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash it, thump it. Remember the old days of Rumble when it used to be a plus sign and we could say pound that plussy. That's right, PLUSSY. We're not getting that vulgar here, guys. We're not. Pound the plussy, if you like. Now it's a thumbs up. It's a glorious thumbs up. Wonderful green thumbs up here on Rumble. It's all the good stuff. Like harder, bigots. Oh gosh, where did it go? Where'd it come from? Where'd you go? And it's still running away. My God, the chat is flying too fast for me to pin something in front of me. Right there. Like it harder, bigots. Do it now. Pretty please. Or not, you do you. I don't want your like anyways. Come on, man. What's up, Cool Frog? Good. Lord of the Ree. Smash that rum blussy. Nice to see you, Cool Frog. I'm going to try. If you're doing 3 a.m. to 3 p.m., I should have some time tomorrow where I could pop in and hang out with you guys on your live stream tomorrow. So I do have a little bit of time on my lunch break that I might try to swing in. If you guys haven't checked out Cool Frog's channel, go over to Cool Frog, follow his channel, watch his stuff. He's a little bit later in the evening, usually around, for me, it's like 3 a.m., 3 or 4 a.m. I think he's Mountain Time. I'm Central Time. What's the difference between Mountain Standard and Central? Is it like 30 minutes or something? An hour? I don't know, guys. I should probably know this stuff. Oh, well. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pull up Ron Paul's response to this. Looks like the military might be moving a 1 hour difference. Okay, so if it's 3 o'clock, 1 hour earlier. So if it's 3 a.m. here, it's 2 a.m. All right, that makes sense. Let me see here. Where are we? Let me pull up this clip from Ron Paul, the OG, the great one, Ron Paul. If it'll come up, my gosh, what's happening here? Ooh. Gonna go ahead and share this real quick. We're gonna hear Ron Paul's response to this, and we're gonna read through the actual the DOD update.
But we want to start off with a headline from Zero Hedge. It's a pretty hot headline. U.S. military now is authorized to kill Americans on U.S. soil. That can't be possible.
Yeah.
This would open up the door for the careless use, and if more frequent and legal. It'll be legal now, so nobody will have to worry about that. Send in the troops. We need you to shoot a couple of these people.
Yeah.
They're opposing our policies. They're demonstrating against COVID rules or something they'll come up with. So I think it's very, very dangerous.
So here it is. Now, Zero Hedge picked it up from Armageddon Pros, which is a Substack which they often run. It says U.S. military now authorized to kill Americans on U.S. soil. Just ahead, intriguingly, of November elections, and that was my second thought, the military has granted itself permission to unleash lethal force on the civilian population. Again, I thought this has got to be an exaggeration. So I went and looked, and actually go to the next one because this explains what it is. Now, it's not a law. It's a DOD directive. So this is, the administrative state where they take over. They don't pass laws. They are laws unto themselves. Go to the next one if you can, because this is what they're talking about. And I went and I read this secondly, and it talks about a reissued DOD directive that was reissued just on September 27th, 2024. It governs the Department of Defense intelligence activities and now includes provisions authorizing lethal force in certain circumstances. And it supplants the 2016 version, which did not mention that. So I read all of this too, which is someone else's analysis. I said, okay, this sounds even more troubling. I want to go look at the document itself. And so go to the next one. I actually went and looked at the DOD directive. It's DOD directive 5240.01. Now go to the next one. I'm just going to get to this really quick so I can, just so people, this is on their own website. Now this is section 3 of that directive, assistance to law.
Lord of the Ree, if I could go back in time and vote again in 2008, I would write in Ron Paul 100% instead of voting for McCain. No, I voted for Obama. Yeah. I've had an evolution, guys. Yeah. I would vote Ron Paul.
Law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. Now go to the next one. Now this is levels of authority. This is section 3.3. Defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state or local law enforcement agency, when lives are in danger in response to such a request for such assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. Now, here are the authorities. I'm sorry to get so far into the woods here, but go to the next one. Responding with assets with potential.
Salty, I was 18. I didn't have a wife yet. Yeah, Sticks also voted for Obama. Yeah. I figured out really quick into his administration that he was a fucking liar. I'll say that. I had this weird thing where I got more conservative throughout college. A lot of people get more liberal. I actually got more leaning. I mean, I've always been independent, but I probably leaned a little bit more left, of course, whenever I was 17 or 18 years old. But I was still independent. But I definitely hardened some stances to the right as I've gotten a little older. So there's a reason why I was telling us that now. Yeah, I've got the document pulled up. We're going to read through it after we get done listening to this, okay?
Potential for lethality, and I underlined this, I highlighted it, or any situation where it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including.
Cool Frog, you voted for him twice? Oh, no. No. See, I figured it out after the first time. It's all good, though. It's all good. You've come around to the right side of things, the correct side, the objective reality, the truth of the world. Evolution, it occurs, and that's okay. Bag. No.
Death or serious bodily injury. I'm sorry to bog the discussion down with that, Dr. Ball, but I really wanted to hone in on this is their actual document. It's not just someone's analysis.
Yeah. It's rather disconcerting, guys. It's rather disconcerting. So, okay, we heard their analysis of it. We saw them bring up a little bit of it. Let's actually bring it up and give it a look. Let's give it a look. Pull it down, bring it up, run around. Is this what I was looking for? Hello? Is it me who's looking for? Oh, we're not going to be able to read through all this. This is 22 pages, guys. We aren't going to read through all this. But I will probably go ahead and provide a link. Actually, the link is in the comments, actually. Pulled McGroin taking care of us in that aspect. So it's in 3, though. So let's go down to 3.1. That's on page 11. And I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Oh, no. 52. But it is DOD Directive 5240.01. Policy. Bunch of legal jargon. Defense intelligence and CI will be the all-source intelligence collection and analysis, sharing, and dissemination capability derived from intelligence and CI activities, operations, and campaign plans provided to the U.S. government and DOD decision-makers and warfighters for military planning and operations, CI. Definitions are probably already listed up above there. They do have a nice table of contents up there. Probably got their definitions listed, I bet. Maybe not. General principles. Let's go ahead and go down to page 11 and look at the apparently where the juicy stuff is. Responsibilities. Man, we're already at 146, guys. Just into our second topic. Secretaries of departments. There's a bunch of legal jargon and like procedural stuff. So let's just go ahead and start reading through here. We'll start we'll start here at 3 in the general principles. I think that's where we are going to find where they discuss it. And we already pretty much kind of did, but so defense intelligence components may provide intelligence and non-intelligence assistance to other DoD components, including DoD law enforcement, on the same terms under which all other DoD components assist each other. Defense Intelligence Components, or DICs, must consider command relationships. Section 1535 of Title 31 USC, also known and referred to in this issuance as the Economy Act, support agreements, also known as the Posse Comitatus Act, and any other applicable law and policies when performing missions or other functions other than foreign intelligence or CI. Defense intelligence components will comply with the DoD policy applicable to DoD non-intelligence organizations and any specific operational parameters specified by DoD policy for that mission or function. A defense intelligent defense intelligent component may undertake intelligence activities for the primary purpose of furthering its mission or function, or to assist the intelligence mission or functions of another element of the IC within a federal law enforcement agency. When there is a question as to whether such assistance is undertaken for the primary purpose of furthering the defense intelligence mission or function, the defense intelligence component, DIC, head, or a delegee, you know they had to be laughing when they wrote that. Defense Intelligence Component Head. Dickhead. Will resolve the matter after consultation with the servicing legal office. This section does not apply to DOD intelligence component assistance provided in accordance with the DOD, as a provision of such assistance is not an intelligence activity. Defense intelligent component assistance to DOD law enforcement, except as provided in paragraph 3.1a. Defense intelligent component assistance concerning the protection of the President, Vice President, and other designated dignitaries pursuant to Public Law 94-524, also known as the Presidential Protection Assistance Act, which will be approved in accordance with Enclosure 3 of DODI, blah, blah, blah. So, foreign law enforcement, sensitive support activities. A lot of the things with these government documents, it's very broad, and their wording is honestly very flexible. They have wide umbrellas with some of the terms that they use. So it's a good way for them to take power where they shouldn't, and it's on purpose. Permissible assistance, the next section here. Excuse me. In accordance with section 2.6 EO as amended, unless otherwise precluded by such EO, I'm guessing executive order, or applicable law, presidential directive, or other EO or policy, and except as indicated in paragraphs blah 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 of this issuance, the following defense intelligence component, intelligence assistant. I can't help myself. I have the maturity of a 12-year-old. I apologize. Strongly. Much apologies. Following intelligence assistance to any federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency, or to a state or local law enforcement agency, when lives are in danger, are authorized. 1. Cooperating with appropriate law enforcement agencies to protect the ICs and the intelligence components, employees, information, property, and facilities of any element, unless otherwise precluded by law or EO 12333. Participating in law enforcement activities to investigate or prevent clandestine intelligence activities by foreign powers or their agents, international terrorist organizations, or international narcotics activities. 3. Providing specialized equipment, technical knowledge, or assistance of expert personnel for use by any federal department or agency, or when lives are endangered, to support state and local law enforcement agencies. The DIC legal office, subject to paragraph 2.2c, will approve assistance from expert personnel in each case. 4. When lives are in danger. When lives are in danger, huh? That could be very subjective, in my opinion. Just saying. So when lives are in danger, rendering any other lawful assistance to law enforcement agencies or other civil authorities, provided such assistance is consistent with and has been approved by an official pursuant to Section 2 of this issuance. Such official will ensure that the legal office of the providing DOD component concurs in such assistance. Dissemination of intelligence information where such information may be relevant to a violation of any federal or state law within the recipient's jurisdiction in accordance with Section 271 of Title 10 USC. Disseminating lawfully collected information reasonably believed to indicate a violation of federal, state, local, or foreign laws in accordance. Foreign laws, eh? In accordance with the August 22nd, 1995 Memorandum of Understanding between the DOD and the Department of Justice, or other applicable memorandums of understanding. C. Defense intelligence component personnel providing intelligence assistance to law enforcement agencies or other civil authorities will conduct such assistance in accordance with the issuance. Such personnel are prohibited from collecting, retaining, disseminating U.S. persons' information during such assistance, except when pursuant to. So your information's protected unless it is pursuant to DODM 5240.01. Any incidentally acquired U.S. persons' information reasonably believed to indicate a violation of the federal law must provide. See, reasonably believed. They stretch this shit, guys. They stretch this shit, and it's not okay. Must be provided to civilian law enforcement officials in accordance with EO 12333 as amended and DOD DODM 5240.01. Levels of authority. Subject to paragraph 3.1, defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state local law enforcement agency, when lives are in danger, in response to requests for such assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. The Secretary of Defense may approve any type of requested permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2. The decision to approve requests for these types of permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2 to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities are reserved to the Secretary of Defense. Provision of personnel to support response efforts for civil disturbances, which may also require presidential authorization. This just has me thinking, they're going to inspire another January 6th type event, regardless of the outcome. DOD response to chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and high-yield explosive incidents. Assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality. So this is, I think, the one that they were talking about earlier. So assistance is responding to with assets with potential for lethality, or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force. They've got to be wishy-washy with this shit, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Reasonably anticipated. What the fuck does that mean? Does it mean like what you did with Ruby Ridge? You fucking fascist cunts. Such use of force must be in accordance with DOD 5210.56, potentially as further restricted, based on the specifics of the requested support. I do believe I saw a Rumble rant there. Lord of the Ree, hitting it up again with a $1 Rumble rant. Chadly of you, sir. What a fucking Chad we've got with Lord of the Ree tonight. Hitting it, showering down dollar bills upon the Dozer Den. Thank you so much, Lord of the Ree. Remember Operation Jade Helm? Pepperidge. Remember Operation Jade Helm? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Actually, I have no idea what you're talking about there. I probably have heard of it, but I would need to brush up on that. Jade Helm. Interesting. Reasonable to whom? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Reasonable to whom? Who exactly? It's nuts. It's nuts. Oh, dang. Did we get another one? $2 Rumble rant from the Beast. Coming in even Chadlier with Cool Frog. Waving American flag. It is the way it is. It's very true. Very profound, Cool Frog. Very profound. It's very true. It is the way it is. There's some bullshit. There's some bullshit out there, guys. And all we can do is inform, guys. All we can do, I'm doing what I can on my part. And I think the way that we do it is just normal fucking people, is we talk to other individuals around us in our sphere, have conversations with people. You know what? Sometimes you might just have to be that guy that brings politics to the Thanksgiving dinner. Just saying. Just saying. I've gotten much as I'm 34 now, so I'm a young buck to a lot of folks. But I grew up on a farm. My stepdad's 82 now, so I've got a little bit different perspective than most 34-year-olds. You would think. There are actually quite a few 34-year-olds, 33, 35-year-olds that actually kind of have started to wake up, and they're starting to see things for what they are. So the millennials aren't completely lost. That's all I'm saying. A lot of us are fucking shitheads, and I don't like a lot of us. But there's some of us that are actually awake to the bullshit and actually agree that things need to change. So it is happening. And if you find, I found, guys, that more and more in real life, I'm having conversations with people about serious topics that I never would have been able to have 3 years ago. So things, there is a shift. The Overton window is shifting. And you can actually bring this stuff up with people, especially when you can provide a damn document like this and show it to them. Yep. Damn, guys. So provision or use of DOD unmanned systems in the United States, except as delegated. So that's unmanned systems. Is that drones? Is that talking about drones? If it's talking about DOD unmanned systems in the United States, except as delegated by the Secretary of Defense, pursuant to the October 31st Secretary of Defense Memorandum. USD. Okay, so INS, for the matters not reserved to the Secretary of Defense, the decision to approve requests for types of permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2 to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities is reserved to the USDINS, coordination with the Undersecretary of Defense for policy is required if, I think we have another one, another $2 from Cool Frog. Tearing it up. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Always appreciated. No one ever has to. Nobody ever has to. But very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much for the support. Talking open mic in 4.5 hours. Let's see if I make it. Cool Frog, get you a nap, man. Get you some sleep, buddy. Thanks for popping in, though, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. Glad to see you. And I will definitely do my best to pop in. And just shoot me the link in Discord, and I will try to pop in and hang out with you guys. Mix it up a little bit. Hopefully not squirrel too hard on some things. But open mic in 4.5 hours on Cool Frog's channel. Go over to Cool Frog. You can minimize here and follow Cool Frog. Good stuff. Good stuff. Talking about talking. 4.5 hours. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Smash the button, everybody. Smash that like button. Seriously, every little bit of support helps, and it helps me focus on doing this more often. So one of the reasons that I'm doing it, doing 2 streams a week now, is I see that people are watching, and I see that people, I guess, like what I'm doing here. So I figure if the people like it, why not do a little bit more? So Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Central, the Dozer Den cometh. Let's see here. So let's go continue with this a little bit. So it's going to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities reserved to that. Coordination with the Undersecretary of Defense for policy is required if the number of requested personnel exceeds 20 people, the duration of the requested assistance exceeds 30 days. So we got some pretty extensive procedures they're planning on instigating here. For matters not reserved to the Secretary of Defense in paragraph 3.3a or the USDIS in paragraph 3.3b and subject to blah, 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 Defense Intelligence Component Head, dickhead, or delegee may approve any type of requested permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2 after consultation with the servicing legal office. The Defense Intelligence Component Head, dickhead, will know whoever that person ends up being. That has got to suck. That has got to suck to be that guy. Gosh darn. Let's see. Oh, Lordy. I don't know if there's going to be much else really, anything juicy in here. A lot of jargon there. A lot of paragraph this, circumstance that. Okay. In addition to the approvals required by this paragraph, as applicable, the provision of assistance by expert personnel pursuant to paragraph 3.2c must be coordinated with and approved by the legal office of the providing DIC, the GCDOD, when the approval is to be provided by the Secretary of Defense, or the USDINS when the Defense Intelligence Component providing the assistance is an intelligence element of a combatant command, or where otherwise appropriate in accordance with paragraph 2.2. Approval considerations. Approval of these requests for permissible assistance described in 3.2 may be provided on a case-by-case basis or may be provided for a particular type of assistance or operation that must be conducted in accordance with DODM 5240.01. The legal office responsible subject to paragraph 2.2c for advising the approval authority must determine the assistance The approval authority must determine the assistance may be provided lawfully. For the legal office responsible, subject to paragraph 2.2c, for advising the approval authority must determine the assistance. I think that's a bit of a grammatical error there. I'm a grammar Nazi, guys. I am a grammar Nazi. But I also could just be getting kind of tired reading that and not, I don't know. Does that seem wonky to you guys? Is that wonky spelling? The legal office responsible for, let's take this part out. The legal office responsible for advising the approval authority must determine the assistance. Yeah, that's a mess up. Do better, DOD. Do better. Proofread your shit. No soup for you. Mark it with a red pen and proofreading marks and send it back. Damn right, I should do it. Like, hey, you guys might want to actually proofread your shit. I'm assuming you have lawyers and people that actually write for a living. I loved writing though. I did in school. I loved writing papers. If you guys read my description, and like the Rumble, where I do a brief show description, I have a little fun with that sometimes. Hopefully, if people actually read that, hopefully you get a little bit of a chuckle every now and then. But okay. Well, hey, we're right there at it. I got distracted and hung up on a grammar issue, but we're back to lethality, guys. The approval authority will consider these factors. Lethality, the extent to which assistance may be provided involves the potential use of lethal force. Risk, the threat that providing the assistance will pose to the safety of both the general public and the defense intelligence components of workforce, including any personnel providing the assistance, and the potential compromise of critical information or sources and methods, as identified through the application of the Operations Security Cycle outlined in National Security Presidential Memorandum 28, as implemented in DOD 5205.02e. The source of the funding mechanisms for reimbursement and the effect of the provision of assistance on the DIC's budget. Such assistance may be provided on a non-reimbursable basis only if authorized by law and, if required, approved in accordance with this issuance. All requests for permissible assistance as described in paragraph 3.2 will include a commitment to reimburse the DOD in accordance with the Economy Act, or in the case of a major disaster or emergency, Section 5121 of Title 42 USC, also known as the Stafford Act, with 3 exceptions. So we're talking about funding stuff here. Okay. Exigent circumstances. Uh-oh. Hey, Cool Frog, if you had to take off, good night to you. Good night to you. Yeah, it seemed weird, didn't it? So you're a super grammar freak, and I didn't get it. Yeah, I was struggling to try to grasp what that sentence structure was messed up. I thought maybe if I took the little comma out, the little comma clause out there, that it would make sense, but it definitely still didn't make sense. So, yeah, I don't know. Do better, Department of Defense. Do better next time. Let me get a drink real quick. Lips were getting dry on me. When a person, here's the exigent circumstances. These are the ones to be concerned about for sure. When a person's life or physical safety is reasonably believed to be in imminent danger and time does not permit a defense intelligence component head, dickhead, to obtain approval from the USDINS or the Secretary of Defense in accordance with paragraph 3.3, the defense intelligence component head, dickhead, is authorized to provide the requested intelligence assistance described in paragraph 3.2 subject to these restrictions. So the DIC will immediately report the details of the assistance to the USDINS or the Secretary of Defense as appropriate. Defense intelligence assistance may not continue for longer than 72 hours without the approval from the USDINS or the Secretary of Defense as appropriate, consistent with the approval levels described in paragraph 3.3a or 3.3b. Defense intelligence component assistance will not be delayed or denied based solely on the requester's inability or unwillingness to commit to reimbursing the defense intelligence component. However, before the assistance is provided, the Defense Intelligence Component head will indicate to the requester that reimbursement, if required, is not being waived. Okay. All right, so now there's your glossary. Okay, so interesting stuff there. Interesting stuff. A lot of there's some legalese going on there for sure, but also poor sentence structure distracted me considerably. There's the references and all that, so I think we pretty much got that. I'm weary of it. Wary of it. Weary be tired. That is true. But I don't like that. I don't like that at all, y'all. I do not like that at all. Oh, you didn't catch the error. I'm just stupid. No. Maybe I was just reading it wrong. It's very possible. Check the comments. Oh, shoot. Sorry. What did I miss? Oh, you mean check the comments in the Oh, dang, JJR. Says Bluetooth earbuds ran out of power. Can't listen through phone speakers because of the factory work environment being too loud. Catch you on Monday. See you around. See you, JJR. Thanks for joining, bud. I see. Check the comments. I'm looking over here. Do you mean the live chat? Did I miss something, Pulled McGroin? Oh, do the link I sent in comments. Isn't the main element of the issue. The link that you sent in comments and chat window, the remainder of the doc. Well, I thought that was the same link. Let me look again. Oh, if it will load for me. Do it. Come on, Rumble. Technical difficulties. Okay. Just trying to find what you're saying here. I see you've got a comment there, so I'll copy that. Let me see what you got here, Pulled McGroin. I've copied it. Going to open up a new tab and paste it here. Guns and gadgets on the Second Amendment. Now, how long? He sent a video. I see that. How long of a video is this? All right, let's give this guy a check out. He apparently has an analysis of the of that. Might be able to break it down a little bit more than I can. So let's see what this guy has to say. This is Guns and Gadgets, Second Amendment News. Got 26,000 followers on Rumble. Good for him. All right, I'm gonna pull him up. We'll see what he has to say real quick. I'm at 2 hours and 12 minutes, and so we're probably gonna go about 3 hours tonight. I do have a couple other topics, but let's go ahead and see what this fella has to say. And maybe it can be a little bit. Oh, wait a second. Computer's doing something weird. Oh no. Is it not going to let me share my screen? No, it will. We're good. Dramatic. Alert. Biden and Harris authorize military to use lethal force on Americans.
The Harris-Biden administration just authorized lethal force by the military on United States citizens. Y'all, we need to pay attention to this. I was given this. It's a copy of the Department of Defense directive that was updated on September 27th. I got this about 3 weeks ago. Literally, I got this the night that the storm happened here, Hurricane Helene, and I've been just tied up trying to help as many people as I can here. And now I'm finally getting a chance to record this video. This is a terrible, terrible thing. I have the directive. Like I said, I've had it for about 3.5 weeks. And yesterday, I was doing my due diligence. I read this directive, and I even reached out to some of my friends who are currently serving in the United States military in different branches at very high ranking levels, some of them in support, some of them in SF, Special Forces. And this is legit. And this is the same directive they got, and it's not good. Never before has the United States military been able to take lethal force action on American citizens in the homeland. But here we are. Why? Because they think that there will be civil unrest in, 3 weeks or 4 weeks for the election?
Yeah.
3 weeks. And when they tell you who they are, ladies and gentlemen, believe them. And they're telling us who they are. You know, Biden has said for years now, if you think you got to defeat the United States military, you're going to need an F-16. Remember all that bullshit? Well, he just cleared the military to take action. Here is the DOD Directive 5240.01 that was just updated, like I said, September 27th. And it is the DOD intelligence and intelligence-related activities and defense intelligence component assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. Now, rather than just show you the one paragraph that is going to make your eyes bleed, let's see what it's applicable to, okay? This issuance applies to the Office of the Secretary of Defense, the military departments, the Office of the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the Joint Staff, the combatant commands, the Office of Inspector General of the Department of Defense, the defense agencies, the Department of Defense field activities, and all other organizational entities within the Department of Defense referred to collectively in this issuance as the DOD components. Now, this issuance does not apply to activities conducted by the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency pursuant to Section 442 of Title 10 of the U.S. Code or Section 3045 of Title 50 of the U.S. Code for A, humanitarian assistance, B, disaster readiness, response, and recovery, C, maritime and aeronautical safety of navigation, D, environmental and security vulnerability studies, E, mapping, charting, and geodetic missions, F, other similar activities not constituting foreign intelligence or counterintelligence. Okay, so of those things that it does not apply to, it wouldn't take but a single order from above to turn that into a different scenario where they're going to say there's public and civil unrest. And here's the part that everybody should be aware of. This is the part a lot of people have been reaching out about in the last couple of weeks here, and I have verified it. This is the one that everybody got issued, and my friends in the military have all said the same thing, that this was not accidentally included. Here it is. You go to Section 3.3, Levels of Authority. Subject to paragraph 3.1, defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state or local law enforcement agency, when lives are in danger in response to a request for such assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. 1, the Secretary of Defense may approve any type of requested permissible assistance prescribed in paragraph 3.2. 2, the decision to approve requests for these types of permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2 to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities are reserved to the Secretary of Defense. A, provision of personnel to support response efforts for civil disturbances, which may also require presidential authorization. B, DOD response to chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and high-yield explosive incidents. C, and this is the big one, assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Such use of force must be in accordance with DOD, that's Department of Defense Directive 5210.56, potentially as further restricted based on the specifics of the requested support. D, provision or use of DOD unmanned systems, drones, in the United States, except as delegated by the Secretary of Defense pursuant to the October 31, 23 Secretary of Defense.
when I was reading through that, that's what I figured unmanned was drones.
Memorandum. Guys, anywhere that law enforcement could potentially be anticipated to have a confrontation with civilians or civilian groups, i.e. militia, that group that's required by the United States Constitution, they're authorized to, upon request and approval by the Secretary of Defense, and perhaps in some situations the President, they're approved to shoot you, to kill you. That's how far we have fallen. That's how far we have drifted away from the republic that our forefathers died to create. It doesn't get any more real than this. I have a link down below if you want to read this directive. It's 22 pages, but the section I just highlighted is all you need to know. If you're in the military, heed this call.
Cool little thing I heard from someone that was in the military. One of the best ways to apparently get drones disabled if they're flying around is nets. Net projectiles apparently are really good at taking drones down.
Who have been called to serve in the defense of country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And the people that pen this order and the people who ordered them to pen this order have just proven to be enemies of this nation. And you better believe that they are domestic enemies. This, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, they've been doing that for years. Domestic violent extremists, the DVEs. That's been a big thing since the start of the Biden administration.
Is the Harris-Biden administration. I mean, technically Biden is the commander-in-chief, but he's out to lunch and been on the beach, and she's been running the show. So Kamala Harris and her crew, her bunch of cronies, have just told the military, you better get this on paper and get this directive out in time before the election. Why? Why? Now, I'll go out on a tier, and I'm going to get on my little tinfoil hat. Some people call it conspiracy theory. I tend to say it's a spoiler alert. But if they anticipate an uprising of, I don't know, Republicans, patriots, then they'll probably look to potentially issue this order, based off of this directive. But would they do it if it were a bunch of blue-haired, screaming, crybaby liberals who have never been told no, never been told, yeah, you're absolutely wrong? You let me know down below. Guys and gals, I'll bring you this information every day. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel to stay in the know. If you absolutely hate what's going on with America, subscribe to this channel right now.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that. Go ahead and give him a follow. Interesting stuff there. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, we read through it, and he kind of read through it too. But yeah, good perspective for sure. Thanks for sharing. All right. Yeah, it does not look good. It doesn't look good. They're probably gonna. They make it very, very open. Their wording in the document. They make it very flexible, and they're absolutely going to be able to use it on American citizens. So, fun times, guys. Fun times. Fuck the drones. The drones are already flying around doing their thing. Not supposed to be. Just like the CIA is not supposed to be doing work within our borders. It's supposed to just be for foreign stuff, right? No, the CIA has been definitely working within the United States borders for pretty much the whole time. It's the whole time. All right. We're going to go ahead and roll into our next topic. You know, with talk of Republicans or patriots rising up, one of the things that was integral in that was social media and big tech squashing that, squashing the voice of the patriot, the voice of the free man, the voice of somebody who is a little bit against the narrative. And they're still doing it, guys. They're still doing it. O'Keefe Media Group, OMG, has a wonderful little expose that they did. Got a guy from Meta, actually, or Facebook and Instagram. Meta's just not going to stick. X sticks better than Meta does. Snooping. Well, if it isn't old James O'Keefe, snooping as usual, I see. Oh yeah, I don't know how these people still get wrapped up into the undercover people from James O'Keefe. It's interesting as hell. I guess they're inspired. They're very inspired by the potential for interaction with a female, and they got someone from Meta, Facebook, and Instagram, pretty much saying what we already knew. We already knew that they're squashing conservatives. They're squashing anything that's other than leftist, socialist garbage. And Jivan Gyawali, interesting name. He got on candid camera, guys. Candid camera with a date. And these women must be gorgeous to fool these guys. They must be absolutely gorgeous. That or these guys are just pathetic. Probably a combination of the two. Just saying. Stop simping, guys. Stop simping and this won't happen. Learn something from it. Or keep fucking up and James O'Keefe will be there to send out his lovely spies. He's like Charlie. They're the angels. He sends them out to get the info. Why are you redeemed? Do not redeem. Do not. Tech support, guys. Tech support.
In like Ohio said something about like Kamala Harris is isn't unfit to be a president because he doesn't have a child. Okay. That kind of shit is automatically demoted.
Meet Jeevan Gowali, a senior software engineer at Meta.
Are they doing a good job protecting our democracy? Because I can see these like right-wing groups like setting up Instagram accounts or Facebook accounts for that matter, right? And just start posting this information, be like, Harris is like blah, blah, blah.
That's all going to be demoted 100%. The civic classified is strong.
The senior software engineer also goes on to say that, quote, the person would not be notified, unquote, if they were demoted because of their anti-Kamala Harris post on Meta, and red listed, that's a new term we just learned, red listed, meaning, according to Collins Dictionary, things that are not permitted.
Would the person who posted that would he be notified that?
The person would not be notified, but there's these things that we collect is like, if a bunch of items that, like if at least a couple of items that a person has created has violated civic classifier, and they're also red listed.
Our OMG American Swiper asked Jeevan if Meta was shadow banning users for their anti-Kamala Harris posts. Take a look at what he says.
So is that called shadow banning?
Shadow banning,
okay,
yeah.
So they will be shadow banned.
Correct.
They will never be shown. But so they will see a dip in like impressions and engagement, but they would not be like officially warned of the reason why.
Correct.
We asked Gowali if Meta has the ability to affect the upcoming 2024 election, to which he responded, yes, Meta does. Jeevan also confirmed that Mark Zuckerberg intends to help the Democrats in this election cycle.
You guys have the ability to influence the outcome of the election.
Yes.
Do you think Zuckerberg agrees? Good. Is he going to help the Democrats?
Yeah.
Meet Jeevan Gowali, a senior software engineer at Meta. Jeevan met our OMG undercover American Swiper on the dating app Bumble. In the meeting he had with our journalist, Jiva describes internal workings of how Meta is dealing with misinformation on their platform. Jiva talks about Meta's civic classifiers, a system that Meta has built through their integrity team to demote civic content. In other words, political content.
I mean, they try to take women's rights away.
I think,
like, how do you guys like control that hate speech?
There's a team called Integrity team.
Okay.
That's like a large portion of like, it's a pretty significant team, and they build all these classifiers. The base level of defense system that Facebook has built now is they have built these things called civic classifiers. Civic classifier is a really large model that's been trained on civic content.
Okay.
So anything that it detects to be a civic content is like demoted.
Civic classifier? Okay, what does that
That means that if anything is related to political content, it's automatically like not shown.
We wanted to dive deeper into Meta's demotion of civic content, whatever that means, on their platform. The senior Meta software engineer Jiva states to our OMG American Swiper that they would, quote, automatically demote, unquote, content that might be critical of Kamala Harris.
Unconnected stuff is not going to show up in your feed. Like ads, I think can show up, and they probably have a whole different process of vetting ads.
Okay.
But like
swiper, no swiping.
Unconnected content, like say your uncle in like Ohio said something about like Kamala Harris isn't unfit to be a president because he doesn't have a child.
Okay.
That kind of shit is automatically demoted.
Now, if you remember back in 2019...
Why is that automatically demoted? That's a perfectly valid fucking opinion.
We did a story about a Facebook insider that showed us internal practices being played out at Facebook.
What's up, the Blunt Scotsman? Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Good morning, all. Vibe on. Smash that like button. Smash it. Plant the seeds. Plant the seeds of thought and discussion. Spiritual awakening. What have you. Glad to see you, Blunt Scotsman. Hope you're doing well this morning. Might be seeing me later tomorrow for me on Cool Frog's marathon stream that he's been doing on Fridays. The open mic from, for me, I think it's 3 a.m. or something like that. Or it would be 2 a.m. for me until 2 p.m. So I'm going to try to join on lunch. So we'll see.
Facebook regarding what they called deboosting as well. What was previously considered a conspiracy theory, now documented by this Facebook whistleblower that came out with us in 2019.
Every time I would see this deboost live stream kind of code on there.
And what does it mean when these documents say action deboost live distribution? What does the term deboost mean?
When I see reduce live distribution, it means preventing the distribution of this live feed.
And just 2 years after that, we got our hands on an insider tape that revealed Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and a top executive were punishing truth seekers.
And I've been clear that we have the number of efforts to find people and we terminate people and pursue the recourse that we have when we identify them. And in this case, we did find them.
Now in 2024, Jivan from Meta, previously Facebook, mentioning continued practices of demoting content just a few weeks before the presidential election. The senior software engineer also goes on to say that, quote, the person would not be notified, unquote, if they were demoted because of their anti-Kamala Harris post on Meta, and red listed, that's a new term we just learned, red listed, meaning, according to Collins Dictionary, things that are not permitted.
Would the person who posted that be made? Would he be notified that?
The person would not be notified, but there's these things that we collect.
How awful it must be to work for these companies. You just can't have a social media presence. You can't do it. I would never want to work for one of these companies.
It's like if a bunch of items that, like if at least a couple of items that a person has created has violated civic.
Lord of the Rings. It's called we do a little trolling. We do a little trolling. That's what we call it. Just a little trolling, not too much trolling, just the right amount of trolling, not too little, not too much, just the right amount of trolling. I tell you what, it's pretty nice trolling.
classifier, and they're also red listed.
Our OMG American Swiper asked Jeevan if Meta was shadow banning users for their anti-Kamala Harris posts. Take a look at what he says.
So is that called shadow banning?
Shadow banning,
Okay,
yeah.
so they will be shadow banned.
Correct.
They will never be shown. But so they will see a dip in like impressions and engagement, but they would not be like a.
I mean, to be fair, hell, this is the same thing that happens on X, where they said freedom of speech does not mean freedom of reach. X does the same shit. I mean, Elon Musk has done a lot for free speech on X, but he's got people under him. I forgot her name, but she's the one who's saying that stuff. The CEO, technically, I think, is what she is. This is how they think. Show Bob and Vagine. I just showed you my company's mouth events. Nobody showed me Bob and Vagine. Would you like a Slurpee? It is important to hydrate.
Officially warned of the reason why.
Jeevan Gowali is asked how the company is going to avoid a repeat of 2016 misinformation, and then he discloses that there is a SWAT team that's, quote, already set up since April.
I'm afraid that we're gonna see a repeat of 2016 in 2024. I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna do it anyway. What is your company doing to prevent that from happening?
God. Well, it's
like how are you guys gonna fight that?
Well, I mean, there is a SWAT team that's already set up since I think April to just do like think about all the scenarios of how the platform could be abused.
The senior software engineer at Meta is asked about right-wing Meta accounts posting misinformation about Kamala Harris, and he states that these posts are, quote, all going to be demoted 100%. The civic classifier is strong, unquote.
Are they doing a good job protecting our democracy? Because I can see these like right-wing groups like setting up Instagram accounts or Facebook accounts for that matter, right? And just start posting this information, be like, Harris is like blah, blah, blah.
That's all going to be demoted 100%. The civic classifier is strong.
Just last week, we saw former...
Blunt Scotsman, fake trolls, the con troll. A good spin on words there. Nice little bit of wordplay there.
2016 Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton state that if Meta doesn't moderate and monitor users' content, then, quote, we lose total control. Watch this.
But if the platforms, whether it's Facebook...
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I didn't know, guys. I'm sorry. It's the horrible bitch. It's the horrendous harlot. Hillary. No lists here.
Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
We asked Gowali if...
I had to see it. You guys had to see it. Suffer and writhe. She's gone now, guys. She's gone. They want the control. Speaking of the control there, Blunt Scotsman, Hillary just said it. We lose control. Fuck your control, you goddamn fascist cunt. Ugh, I hate these people.
Meta has the ability to affect the upcoming 2024 primary election, to which he responded, yes, Meta does. Jeevan also confirmed that Mark Zuckerberg intends to help the Democrats in this election cycle.
You guys have the ability to influence the outcome of the election.
Yes.
Do you think Zuckerberg agrees? Good. Is he going to help the Democrats?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's like going to help the
100%,
Democrats, right?
100%.
So
Diddy's in like the same wing as Jeffrey Epstein that I think Jeffrey Epstein was. Somehow there's going to be some oil on the ground and he's going to slip and fall and hit his head and then he's all of a sudden going to be dead. Diddy did not kill himself. They can't be as sloppy with it as they were last time. Bill Barr's not in this time, so maybe it won't happen. Another bad hire from Trump. Let's hope he learned his fucking lesson. He says he has. I don't know.
So we just reached out to Jeevan for comment.
My name is James O'Keefe, and the girl works for me. And she recorded you. You're at Meta, and you're talking about... He said, and then he hung up the phone. So I guess the comment is off.
And stay tuned because tomorrow we have another Meta.
Oh no, James O'Keefe, he got me. What do I do? Oh fuck.
Subject forthcoming. We have lineinthesandmovie.com, which redirects you to Tucker Carlson's website where you can stream Line in the Sand movie. We've got whistleblowers coming out. We got the Border Patrol agent in Vermont who's being summoned and disciplined for speaking about child trafficking. We have his back. Citizen Journalism Foundation is defending him, paying his legal bills. And if you work on the inside of any federal agency, any tech company, Disney, you name it, tips at o'keefemediagroup.com. DM us. We got your back. Stay tuned. Well, here we go. The market has...
All right. There that was. Giwali or whatever heck your name was. That was not good for you, dude. You messed that one up. Do not redeem. Ah, fuck. That's not a good response. That's a, oh man, I screwed up. That is rough. Oh, come on, Bill language. Please don't start acting like them. I get a little bit, I have wordy dirds. Sam Duty. It happens. But I like them. I cuss. They're sentence modifiers, Sam Duty. Yeah, this is man, they just... And the thing is, though, they'll dismiss it because they tried to discredit James O'Keefe years ago by saying that the two dudes yelling at each other. Oh, man. But yeah, Facebook is Mark. Don't let Mark Zuckerberg fool you guys. Don't let that robot fool you. He's still a cyborg. The Zuckerberg is... See, what it is he had an update that improved his deception programming, and him, trying to do the parasailing or whatever it was, drinking a beer with an American flag or whatever he had. I don't think he cares about. And like that guy said, Zuckerberg's trying to probably find favor with whoever he thinks is going to win this election. And I guess he's not contributing as much to the drop boxes this time as he did last time. Admitted that was wrong and he shouldn't have done that. I don't know. I don't know if I buy it, guys. I don't know if I buy it. He used to be human. Used to be. I doubt he still is. I doubt the Zuckerberg. It's definitely not. Even when he was drinking that water, I don't think he actually drank the water, guys. It was really risky of that robot, Mark Zuckerberg, to go over the ocean like he did and act like he wasn't going in danger of frying his circuits. Facebook and Instagram are still going to censor you. I'm not on Facebook as much as I used to be. I went 2 years after the 2020 election bullshit. Facebook pissed me off so bad, I wasn't on it for 2 years. But I had to get back on it for some little stuff, and it's nice to keep in touch with family members and stuff like that and friends that you haven't seen in a while. And one of the things, keeping in touch with people, you want to be alert. You want to be energized. One of the ways that I would like to stay energized, 1775coffee.com. Do you enjoy the free speech that Rumble is protecting and fighting for? This show on Rumble is only possible thanks to our viewers supporting Rumble's platform by purchasing Rumble's products. Most of you drink coffee every day. That's why you have to try Rumble's 1775 coffee. It's actually some of the best coffee. And it's the same price as the coffee you buy now, but it's way better. Rumble's 1775 coffee is free from chemicals, yet rich in flavor. This is because their beans are sourced from high-altitude farms in Bolivia, hand-picked, roasted weekly at their facility in Miami, and delivered fresh to your doorstep. And as believers in freedom, buying from Rumble helps fight back against woke corporations like Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. Join the coffee revolution and brew rebellion with Rumble's 1775 coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com, use code STUDIO, that's STUDIO, and get a free month's supply of their cognitive boosting supplement, Limitless, when you buy 2 bags of their coffee. Think about that. That's a crazy deal. And the supplement is worth more than the 2 bags of coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com and try their amazing coffee. Thank you guys for bearing with me through that ad read. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. Actually, I've never tried 1775 coffee, so I do want to go ahead and say that. But, you know, if Rumble, you want to send me some, you want to send me some 1775 coffee, I'll try your coffee, and I'll give it a rating. It's going to be better than the instant stuff that I've got in the cabinet that I do every now and then with my little iced coffee drink. It's a treat. I don't drink coffee that much, and I don't drink that type of coffee very often because it's a lot of sugar and brown sugar, and I make it. My wife, Lady Dozer, she found a little recipe. It's got like some sugar, brown sugar, a little bit of honey, the instant coffee, and then we got a little foamy, little spitty thingy that makes it all foamy. It's nice. It's horrible for you, but yeah. But if you like coffee and you want to try 1775 coffee, give it a shot. Can't hurt, right? Rumble Ad Center providing a couple quarters. That was like 55 cents worth. One of these days I'll get a sponsor, guys. And then it'll be worth it. It'll be worth all that extra gusto and gumption that I put into my ad reads. I like having fun with them. I wish the what was it, the ad they used to have for being naked? I didn't get a chance to actually read it on stream, but I saw Ricada read it once or twice, and I think I saw Jeremy read it once. And it looked like they were having so much fun reading that ad. But thank you guys for putting up with me through those, by the way. Trying to do a little bit here and there. And thank you guys so much for the support tonight. It has been a great night for Rumble Rants. Always, always appreciate the support. Helps me focus on continuing to do this. Incentivizes me to do this instead of doing DoorDash in the evenings. It's not something that I really like doing. I was dashing yesterday for about 4 or 5 hours. That was something. Didn't have anything too crazy. Didn't get shot at. Didn't hear any shots. I actually heard some shots here at the house earlier, but I don't think it was anything serious. I think it was just raccoons or something, or just someone being stupid. I'm out in the country. Not really worried about someone shooting right now, but well, it was like 8 o'clock, so it was a little dark, but oh well. Okay. Oh, Facebook thinks Pull McGroin. Facebook thinks you're dead, huh? They think Hillary got to you. Ricada would Ricada would know a lot about being naked. Ayo, naked on the beach. Altitude with attitude. That's right. Apparently, that's what that coffee has. High farms, high altitude farms. Little buzzy farms. I've heard it's good coffee. I think Luke Rudkowski from We Are Changed, or the Best Political Show. He was talking it up, said it was pretty good. So hey, people that have actually tried it like it. So that's a good thing. Yeah. So I miss Nick. I guess you have to take his place now because I used to listen before bed or as I was falling asleep. So thanks for filling in. Well, thank you so much for that. I don't have the nose though. I can't fill those shoes. That nose, I have but a button nose compared to that giant schnoz, that giant Jew nose that Ricada has. If only he would have used that nose for good. You had to get the sugar booger. No. I hope he's doing well. Last time I saw Ricada was on Joe's 100,000 celebration stream, actually. That was about a couple weeks ago, I think. And he said something about, starting to do a stream again, but he's clearly got his stuff that he's got to work through for sure. Got to get that stuff back. He's got his kids. That's the big thing. Focus on taking care of your kids, taking care of your family. That's what I say. Life happens. Life happens. So, okay. But hopefully I help fill the shoes a little bit. Hopefully I help fill the emptiness left from that nose not being on stream right now. I don't go as long and late as Ricada. I start a little bit earlier, but I do end up, going in there. I do think he'll probably pop back up, but if he doesn't, it is what it is. We had him when we had him. It was definitely good stuff. A lot of people got their careers boosted off of that guy, and a lot of people have been fucking assholes about it. That's their right. They can be that way. But like I've maintained, you can't just you can't assume someone's guilt. Just like with Sticks, right? Right, Jeremy, with the quartering. I'm gonna go ahead and have Sticks's back, but very and Dr. Disrespect. But Rekieta, nah. Fuck Rekieta, apparently, according to the quartering. That was really shitty. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Fuck that. That was shitty. I like the quartering and a lot of what he does, but the way he acted on that specific thing, I don't know if they got beef. Maybe it's like Sean. I don't know. Maybe they got beef. Fuck them. I don't care. But I think it's just downright petty. Be objective. Be equal in your treatment of people. I don't think that's that hard. That's just how I feel about it. But yeah, a lot better ways that he could have gone about that. No, clearly he's guilty. You don't know that. And a lot of those initial reports from cops are often bullshit. So just throwing that out there. Yeah, I know. It's his voice. Oh, damn. Well, Ernst, that is, you know what? I appreciate the hell out of that. Thank you for that. Seriously. Well, glad I'm helping. Glad my voice doesn't piss you off. It annoys some people. Sometimes Lady Dozer gets a little bit annoyed with my voice. Sometimes she's just like, okay, save it for your stream. Save it for your stream, Bill. Gotcha. They went after Dave? Which Dave? I don't know. Barnes is a freaking constitutional scholar, man. And if you're Barnes is right about a lot of shit. Even if the system doesn't do the right thing, Barnes is objectively correct in a lot of his analysis. Even if it doesn't end up turning out the way it's supposed to, based on the objective letter of the law, he's right most of the time. I think Viva Fry has a shirt, Robert Barnes is always right or something like that. Pretty much he is. Things sometimes just don't go the way they should, which is a sad statement about the quote-unquote justice system. Just saying. Oh, Dave Rubin. Yeah, he's been a bit of a dick about Rubin. I get people that would criticize Rubin. I do. Schaefer went pretty hard at Rubin too, and it was not. I mean, I've got my issues with Rubin, I guess, but that's the thing. You're going to have issues with everybody. Here's the great thing about the right, the libertarians, the conservative side of things. We mix it up with our perspectives and our opinions. We can tolerate that. But there are certain things where it just gets like, I just don't want to listen to you, or I don't want to I don't want to view your content if you treat people like shit, especially people that were pretty much, I mean, as far as we could tell, good to you. Maybe some stuff happened on the side with Rekieta and the quartering. I don't know. But it was just weird, and it's weird to see the disparity. Somebody that he doesn't even know in Dr. Disrespect, the quartering was just gobbling on his nuts. And sorry, that was a little bit vulgar, but like, it was like, dude, bad form. And Sticks, of course, I think that stuff with Sticks was probably freaking overblown. Sticks got to go back to Vermont. Apparently needed an emergency notary at some point this evening. I don't know if you guys were watching Sticks have a little bit of a spaz out on X, but hopefully he got his notary for the gun thing that he needed done. I don't know. Dave kind of, that's the thing. We can all be a little, all right, listen here. The thing is, I'm kind of retarded. All right. And, we just got to deal with that. Everyone's a little retarded sometimes. It happens. Trying to be good about muting the coughs, guys. I can't believe my voice is still here. We're almost 3 hours in, guys. And I think that pretty much we have time for our last little clip here. He was on DeSantis. A lot of people hopped on DeSantis' lap and took a ride. They did. Oh, Urs, you and I are of similar mind there. I don't have a problem with the people. Well, except for the ones that hate Christians because we're Christians. The people of Israel, I think I'm fine with for the most part. But the government of Israel, I have a big problem with. Now, if I'm going to side with one of the other, I suppose I would side with with Israel rather than the people who literally have it written in their law to genocide the other one. But I've said my piece on that multiple times. Not even going to get into it tonight. If you want, you can go back and look through my my conversations about the trouble in the sandbox. The sand people, they have problems. They do. Next topic, though, guys. Next topic. We had a bit of a that was a Jones. That was a Jones impression. Urs. Yep. That it was. We're going to go ahead and go to our next topic. Apparently, the federal government, FEMA, decided to commandeer a man's land. This is a feller out of I think North Carolina. Yep, North Carolina man. He I guess he's got this warehouse, and he was getting some supplies and stuff like that, and he eventually got notice from the federal government that they were just taking his warehouse. And he was getting evicted. If that is the case, then he should defend his property. Absolutely defend your fucking property from the federal government coming in and taking it. I'm absolutely advocating for anybody who would have something like that. Defend your fucking property, because I think that is absolutely within your rights to defend your property against an invading force such as this. Fuck them. Make a point. Hopefully it doesn't come to anything hot. Hopefully you're just able to say, hey, guess what? I'm going to defend my property and nothing happens. I hope that would be the case. This guy, it sounds like he lost most everything besides his warehouse. And then they're even trying to take that from him. So when the hurricane doesn't come in, the federal government sure as hell will, and it'll fuck you up just as bad, if not worse, apparently. Fuck FEMA. Fuck FEMA so hard. If this is actually what he's portraying, maybe he didn't understand the notice. And you have the right to do compensation, or just compensation, I think is the verbiage in the Fifth Amendment. So eminent domain, yeah, sometimes the federal government will come in and commandeer your property and take it, but they're supposed to compensate you for that property. Yeah, I agree, Urs. I agree. A hurricane can't throw you in prison. Yeah, Sam Duty, it sounded like that's what they might be. He kind of hinted at that. Let's go ahead and bring him up, and let's let him say his piece. Because I'd rather have him say it than me say it for him. But let's bring him up. And I guess Steve Baker, you see, someone found him, so he got to talk to the guy. And I'm anxious to see what the follow-up is on this from Steve Baker. But let's go ahead and listen to this guy. J. Robert Watson on TikTok.
That's because I've been volunteering with the distribution of food and supplies with FEMA here luckily at the same building where the portal is to my business. On Friday, I found out companies have been sending these products that are not going to be distributed to the public because they don't meet certain health requirements. And they're going to store them in Suite 1400, the big room, which is...
I think those were Prime. I think it's like the like a Gatorade version that from Jake Paul or something, or Logan Paul. What do you mean it doesn't meet? People are dying from dehydration and thirst, and
where I have events, and a big portion of my business model for the next 90 days, they have to store all these hazardous food products, basically.
Pulled my groin. I'm going to say that my first real rock album was And Justice for All. And I got a little radio / alarm clock that Christmas as well. And so I plugged it in as soon as I got I plugged it in as soon as I saw I got the And Justice for All CD. And I was jamming to that while we were opening Christmas presents at my mom's house when I was like 12 or 13 years old. Yeah, that was good times. That's good. That's a dang good. I still got that on my iPhone, my iTunes. Good stuff. Back when you actually downloaded physical CDs to your iTunes. I'm old now.
Pallets and pallets of Prime. Can't make this shit up. So that's a big hit. I'm like, okay, no events for 90 days. I can work with that. I still have other spaces. I still have this room, gallery hall, as well as another room on the other side of that wall. And then back here I have my office, which I call the utility room, because it was a utility room. And out here, the courtyard. Finally getting cleaned up. Big mess out here. But I just got a phone call today saying they need the courtyard to put 2 dumpsters in it. I said, okay. For how long? And they said, well, and why won't you put the dumpsters in the back with all the other dumpsters? Basically, and yeah, I can't make this shit up. Basically, they said, well, we don't want the dumpsters to be seen by people driving by or whatever. As a matter of fact, we just emailed you your lease termination paperwork.
So, okay, am I missing something, or is it sounding like they want to get rid of the supplies that he has? They want to dump that. They want to use those dumpsters for those supplies, and they don't want people seeing what they're doing. Maybe I'm missing something, but is that what you guys are picking up from that?
So you're telling me that FEMA and the National Guard have just commandeered my space while I'm looking for a new place to live, volunteer, and still work to get some income whenever I can. Now it's all gone. It's not, we'll relocate you or compensate you for 90 days. It's straight, we need your space. You have 30 days to leave. I don't know what to do. I've been searching for a place like this for 3 years. I just put everything into this, all my time. You know how it goes. The portal to me is not just my art studio and where I make a living. It was everything to me. I would get another studio space before I find a place to live. Anytime, all the time, every time. Still in shock. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do.
This is the type of shit that inspires people like Marvin Heemeyer. Sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things. I'm not saying that I'm not inciting that. Fed boy fucks. But damn. I mean, you can tell how much this man's hurting too. I really am interested in the follow-up. Next stream that we do on Monday, I will try to follow up with this story because this is bullshit. And it sounds like they want to destroy the fucking donations that came in because they can't stand it. They can't stand it if the American people support each other. They want you to suckle on the teat of the government at any instance possible. They want you convinced that you have to depend on them, when in reality, you don't.
Here we go again. Support me if you want to.
Another $435 million, guys, to Ukraine. That happened today.
I really appreciate everybody. I'm just... I didn't get wiped out by the hurricane itself, but the company that's doing the hurricane relief. I mean, there's enough space for everybody. Put the dumpsters in the, shitty companies don't send shitty products for your tax break. I don't know. I'm just going to stop bitching. I don't know. It's just so crazy. I don't know. I'm going to document the next month or so process of what I'm doing, when I know what I'm doing, just telling y'all updates, I guess. Can't believe I got pushed out by FEMA. Fuck y'all.
I agree. Fuck y'all. Poor fucking dude, guys. That sucks. I feel ya. If my boy wasn't sleeping, I would do an Alex Jones scream. I'm going to cue that up. Whenever I get the media stuff pulled up in Rumble Studio, I'm actually going to have that at the ready, stuff like that. I need to get my Stream Deck up and going too, which this little Elgato Wave 3 mic apparently has software that's like a Stream Deck. I just need to actually fiddle with it and get it figured out. But that is legitimately insane. That is legitimately insane that they are doing to that to J. Robert Watson on TikTok or wherever I guess you can find him. I went ahead and got a TikTok. I'm Bulldozer74 there. If you do happen to have a TikTok, my most recent video was of my cat sitting on a trash can being weird. It is what it is. I don't really get on there much. Honestly, TikTok doesn't really pull me in like Facebook Reels and X. X has figured me out algorithm-wise of what they need to give me for my endorphin hits, and I don't like it that they figured me out. But I did it. I let them do it. But yeah, that is insane. Apparently, Steve Baker from Turning Point USA used to be with the Blaze. He's one of the guys that got in trouble for the 6th, and they were trying to prosecute him. He apparently found the guy, and let me check his page real quick and see if there's any updates, just in case. Not seeing. Apparently, he was talking with Steve Baker, ended up talking with Dan Schulman, FEMA's senior external affairs specialist, discussed with me the rumors and disinformation surrounding their operations in West North Carolina. Oh, the new FEMA camp in Candler is the housing center for FEMA responders. Much more to share shortly. That's the last thing I see from him. He had a little bit of a breakdown, not talking about that guy, though. So hopefully there's an interview coming up with that guy. I hope so anyways. Yeah, I get stuck in a little bit of a Facebook Reel wormhole there. Oh God, no, I haven't seen the guy that was buried in the mudslide. There's a lot of people that were buried. I agree, Urs. They are freaking criminals. Freaking criminals. It's disturbing what the federal government will do whenever they are left unchecked. And eventually they're going to have to get checked, guys. I don't know what that's going to look like, and I don't know how it's going to happen and what's going to be the thing that finally sets it off, but at some point it's going to happen. And I don't know if it's going to be when if Trump God willing, Trump gets back in office, if the left starts freaking out again, I don't think that they are going to be allowed to, I don't think the public is going to let them rampage like they did during the Summer of Love again. I think you're going to have actual militias get together and keep their communities safe, which is what we are supposed to do. When the federal government or when the state government and local government lets the people burn, when you have people like Tim Walz's wife saying, oh, well, we opened the windows so that we could smell the smoke from the riots, so that we could empathize with the people. You, Marie Antoinette-like twatwaffle. How horrendous of you to say something so detached from the normal person, the average, the pleb. Absolutely horrendous. That's Tim Walz' wife. Open the windows so they could smell the fire from the riots that you let happen in Minnesota. You guys let that happen. Scotsman, gotta go. Part-time dog walker. Vibe on, vibe up. Plant the seeds, y'all. Yeah, man. Bulldozer talk soon. Heck yeah, man. Onwards. See you, Scotsman. See you, Scotsman. I will hopefully be on a stream tomorrow during my lunch break with Cool Frog and just kind of be chilling and talking about stuff and things. Stuff and things. Gonna make sure I enunciate that. So I might read into the stuff and things since I roll it together real quick. Thank you for joining, Blunt Scotsman. Glad to see you here. There you go. Pulled McGroin during the Chaz Chop. 5, including me, sat in front of a firearm store. Hell yeah, brother. Good on you for that. We need people to step up and put these idiots in line. You get out of line, and especially the ones that are imported in from other places. All right, you guys want to go ahead and come from out of state or want to cause problems in a try it in a small town. I'll go ahead and say that. Try that in a small town. It don't happen in small towns because they're going to be checked real quick by some good old country boys. We don't fuck around. I about had a group of fellas today that were about to take up, if we could have anyways. We didn't get his damn license plate, but we see him again, there's going to be problems. We're in a country area, but it's a subdivision. It's a neighborhood. And there were some people rolling through real reckless. We got kids, so not having that. It's one of those situations where you wish you had spike strips. Pretty sure that's a federal offense, though, so that's something that we don't have. And wouldn't do that, of course, because that's so wrong. But yeah, that guy pissed me off. Come by burning out, sliding around like you're a freaking drag racer in a little country subdivision area. Don't be that guy. You want to do it on the county roads, right down the freaking road, go into the county roads and burn out and be an idiot there. That's fine. Stay away from the houses and where kids are. Not that hard. Just not. But yeah, country boys don't mess with that. We don't play. And there's a lot of pawns, guys. There's a lot of pawns whenever, stuff like, the Summer of Love happened in those cities. I'm just saying. Self-defense is applicable, and Missouri is a castle doctrine state. If you feel that your safety or your property safety or your family's safety is at risk, guess what? You can pretty much defend yourself in whatever way you deem necessary to eliminate and neutralize the threat. Literally had conversations with the sheriff about this stuff before. So, there it is. I should have said, hey, you should send that to me in an email. Self-defense, guys. Self-defense. If don't bring the violence to somebody else, but if the violence comes your way, you can absolutely defend yourself. That's the way I feel about it. So sad, yeah. All right. So I do believe that is all the topics. Now we have one more thing. Typically, first of all, if you haven't smashed that like button, what are you doing? Come on, smash the like button. Like it. Comment in the comments section if you like. Share the stream out to the masses. Spread the word of the Dozer Den. If you want to subscribe to the channel, it's $5 a month. You get your name lit up in a brilliant, but also subtle, lovely MAGA red hue in the comments section. I love my subscribers. We've got 3 currently, $5 a month. Much appreciated. To all those who would like to donate to the Dozer Den, you can do Rumble Rants. I think you can do Super Chats, but I'm not 100% sure. And there is also the option for Venmo pinned to the top of the comments section, and it is pinned in the X chat as well. Let me check on my folks on X. Our last topic, usually the way the streams go, we do 3 to 4 news stories, and then we have a topic that is really not news. It's more, I'll do science, I'll do kind of a light-hearted thing, a white pill, a happy note. Today we're on the science kind of section, a little bit of paranormal stuff, kind of. We've got a clip from InfoWars. The Frog Prophet himself, Alex Jones. He does a bit of a deep dive into some recent UFO stuff. And I just felt like that was interesting and felt like it was something worth sharing. It's about a 10-minute clip. So I figure let's go ahead. Let me check on my people here real quick on X. Oh, I had 159 people watch so far on X. Hell yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. I think we're up to like 500 views on the Rumble stream so far. So thank you guys so much for watching. Never understand why people would want to take time out of their evenings to hang out with little old me, but I am forever grateful for it. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and kind of talk about the things we discussed today in the stream with the meat and potatoes, the serious stuff. We first covered the Kamala Harris meltdown, a disastrous interview with Bret Baier. Bret Baier might actually be redeeming himself in my eyes, just slightly, but I'm still watching you, Bret. You and all that Botox. Chill out on that Botox, Bret. Eventually, you're not going to be able to look like you're always looking surprised, man. You're always looking surprised. Just saying. Moderation is key. Moderation is key. So we talked about that, watched it, did a little reaction to it. And then we rolled into a discussion of the military use of force on Americans in case of civil unrest, pretty much. And they're going to use drones apparently too. So that's fun. Good times, guys. Good times. Hooray. We then covered the O'Keefe Media Group expose. Had a little bit of a little petite fella caught on camera doing a little bit of discussion about the censorship that they employ onto the impart, rather, I guess is the word I was looking for, impart onto Republicans and conservatives in general. How dare you even question Kamala Harris's candidacy? Question the fact that she has kids? No, it gets demoted, deboosted. You're not going to be seen. Just like the lady with X says, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of reach. They got to fix that shit. Not okay. Not okay. Do not redeem. Do not redeem. We then went ahead and covered the sad story of the man, J. Robert Watson, in North Carolina. Had his home taken by the hurricane, and he's going to have his warehouse taken by the federal government because fuck you, that's why, apparently. I can't help but notice some things going on, and it's a bit of a problem. There's a bit of some patterns and trends that need to be addressed. It's not good. It's not good, guys. Well, let's go ahead, and our last topic, last issue here, is going to be from Alex Jones. He does a bit of a deep dive. A bit of a deep dive into the UFO issue. Specifically, my apologies. Specifically around, I think he starts off talking about drones around military bases. Let me see if I can find him. I thought I had him in my bookmarks. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Well, son of a biscuit. I did not put it in my bookmarks. Son of a bitch. Apparently, my voice only made it 3 hours. Let me find him. Let me find him. It's on here somewhere. Oh, God. It's all the correspondence thing right now. My apologies, man. Oh. Oh, this is going to bug me. Thought I had this pulled out. My apologies, guys. I was watching it earlier. I know I was. Guess I forgot to hit that bookmark. I already had that targeting civilians. They're trying to take over his X account. That's cool. Good job, Fed boys. Oh, this is not going to come up for me right now. Give me a second. Let me open up another link here. Ah, okay, I found it. Good deal. Yep, got about a 15-minute clip here, so we're going a little bit late tonight, guys. A little bit late tonight. Pretty sure Lady Dozer is probably falling fast asleep on the couch, but we have a clip here. Alex Jones apparently goes deep. This is you know, it's relevant, but it is separate from the politicking mostly. I've been fascinated with UFOs and stuff like that since I was like 13 or 14, so this is right up my alley, and hopefully it's up yours as well. We'll let the Frog Prophet have his time.
What we know, the big flying Vs are space planes and nuclear weapon and Sabo meteor gun platforms. These other pod and flying saucer craft have got some type of anti-gravity propulsion system. And what we know is the Pentagon is purposely leaking information and implying that it's alien to create fear. And we've gotten some of the leaks on this, that the UN and Henry Kissinger planned to have a fake alien invasion at some point to unify the planet under their control. And so obviously, if you're the breakaway civilization with all this advanced technology that's really the equivalent of the year 2050 or beyond, you don't show people the human animal chimera clones they admit they've got. You don't show people that you've got all this weather control that their own documents admit they have. You don't show people you've got antimatter weapons that could blow up the whole solar system. You don't show people all these new free energy propulsion systems they've got. And then you start harassing aircraft and ships with the drones and saying they're aliens, but then you can look at them and then from the leaks we have, know that they're actually man-made, controlled by the United States and the UK, the only two countries that actually are in the club and have this stuff that we know of. Then you got to ask how the United States actually got all this and created the microchip and the transistor before that when nobody else did, and where are they getting the knowledge? And then, I don't know. Some say aliens interdimensionally, gave them the codes. People think of an alien traveling here, and so they can just send the message via a radio telescope message, like the movie in the 90s, Species, where the radio telescope picks up a code of DNA. They put it in an egg and plant it in a woman. Looks like a humanoid. It's actually an alien. That's an example of, from the intel I've got, how they're getting it.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next. Visit Infowars.com/show and share the link today.
There's a lot of developments and a lot of phenomenon that if you understand that phenomenon, it's a gateway, a keyhole into a larger understanding. And this is one of those stories, and it's a long story. But for 30 plus years, there have been unidentified flying aircraft that will approach fighter jets, approach drones, approach commercial airliners, and will do maneuvers and make 90-degree turns that no known technology can do. And there's the big flying Vs that show up above the nuclear weapons bases and the ships, that have the drones come in and flying around them. Now you've got classic drones that are loud with propellers.
Is it not sharing sound?
Big ones, some of them 20 feet long, showing up at the most secure U.S. military bases.
Okay.
And buzzing the airfields and doing all this. And then notice, even though it happens night after night, the military doesn't shoot them down.
This one's cool. That one is fascinating. I don't know what the hell that is. It's like, looks like one of those Star Wars drones.
What does that tell you? I mean, look at that thing. That's an Imperial probe droid. Just go back.
Yeah.
Go back to that last one. Now, there's the military catching this robot flying around with no propulsion system they can see. And then it zips off at, Mach 20. And these things disappear into the ocean, all the rest of it. You didn't start seeing these till after World War II.
You might need to refresh, or if you're in the app Earth, you might need to refresh or something. I'm not sure.
And from the research we've done that's overwhelming, these are man-made. The breakaway civilization has super advanced technologies they're suppressing. They admit that. The stealth bombers are from the 1960s. They still say the fastest plane ever made was in service in the late 50s, the SR-71 Blackbird. The pilots wear spacesuits when they fly them. It goes up to the edge of space. It's a space plane. It's like a Model T compared to the newest Tesla today. But they tell you the Model T is the fastest, best, newest car in the world. That's the equivalent. So here's what we know. The big flying Vs are space planes and nuclear weapon and Sabo meteor gun platforms. These other pod and flying saucer craft have got some type of anti-gravity propulsion system.
Ashton Forbes been talking
And what we
about
know
it.
is the Pentagon is purposely leaking information and implying that it's alien to create fear. And we've gotten some of the leaks on this, that the UN and Henry Kissinger planned to have a fake alien invasion at some point to unify the planet under their control. And so obviously, if you're the breakaway civilization with all this advanced technology that's really the equivalent of the year.
Hey, I'm sorry, Urs. Well, thanks for watching, man. Don't know why it's not, the audio's not working for you, man.
2050 or beyond, you don't show people the human animal chimera clones they admit they've got. You don't show people that you've got all this weather control that their own documents admit they have. You don't show people you've got antimatter weapons that could blow up the whole solar system. You don't show people all these new free energy propulsion systems they've got. And then you start harassing aircraft and ships with the drones and saying they're aliens, but then you can look at them and then from the leaks we have, know that they're actually man-made, controlled by the United States and the UK.
Have a good night, Urs.
The only two countries that actually are in the club and have this stuff that we know of. Then you got to ask how the United States actually got all this and created the microchip and the transistor before that when nobody else did, and where are they getting the knowledge? And then, I don't know. Some say aliens interdimensionally, gave them the codes. People think of an alien traveling here, and so they can just send the message via a radio telescope message, like the movie in the 90s. Species where the radio telescope picks up a code of DNA. They put it in an egg and plant it in a woman. Looks like a humanoid. It's actually an alien. That's an example of, from the intel I've got, how they're getting it. Radio telescopes, interdimensional communications. That's what they do on the DMT. I told you this before. It was declassified on Joe Rogan 8 years ago. 1 year later, they declassified that indeed the U.S. military and governments were doing DMT drips going back to the 60s, as I told you. The equivalent of interdimensional astronauts who were mapping this and communicating with these aliens who would tell them, okay, bring me 20 kids, slit their throats, and I'll give you some technology. You go, that sounds crazy. Well, look at all the Aztecs would kill kids to be given knowledge by the gods. The Babylonians, the Druids, it's always these creatures that want us to do bad things, go against our own species, and they promise now, if you'll kill the majority of the humans and transcend and merge with silicon, we will give you the advanced technology for life extension, but you have to become a new species and end all carbon-based life on Earth, which they're doing with the geoengineering, getting rid of life on Earth as we know it. There is a terraforming operation.
Literal vampire pot-belly goblins are hobbling around coming after us. The spirit gets close to my evil and it makes me go, ah, ah, ah. Love that.
Clearly for Satan and his entourage of creatures that is going on. And notice when I talk about this, the media doesn't attack it. The system doesn't talk about it. I've been talking about this, and I knew about it decades ago for at least 10 years, giving you the final pieces of the puzzle that's actually right there in the Bible. And notice the media never picks this up, never touches it. I have met with top retired generals. I've met with top scientists. I've met with top tech people. I've met with the top people. They all know this. They all understand it. They all accept it. And so we're being given advanced knowledge to be able to build things never before on this earth, to build a terraforming operation that doesn't just change the atmosphere, it changes the very genetic makeup of the planet. They've been doing it covertly for a long time, and now they're doing it overtly through the self-replicating
It's such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointing people of their worst kind. Man, I'm so pissed.
nano shots being put in the population. And so now imagine the Pentagon, and I told you this when this first broke last week. I said, watch, they'll announce it's happening to all the bases. Now in these articles, overhead shot, please, they're saying, oh, every military base has these drones showing up. And they call them UFOs. That just means unidentified flying object, but imply they're aliens, though they admit they have propellers and they say they don't know who's sending it, as if they don't put up a helicopter or a jet and follow back where they're coming from, as if they don't shoot them down. No. This is branches of the Pentagon and the deep state doing a psyop on the military personnel who were told to stand down on the ships and the bases and in the air. And then it creates this internal debate about what is it. And then they have whistleblowers say it's aliens to create a belief in the military that these are aliens, when what it is humans following a satanic off-world fallen angel entity plan to roll all of this out to, at some point, with the hologram projections they have that I told you about 30 years ago that they now, use and do, where you see a giant snake in the sky or Godzilla or whatever they want. You've got CERN opening interdimensional gates, and in a minute they can blow the planet up with it, and doing giant satanic rituals with Baphomet at its opening. And they have movies about it like Event Horizon, decades before they actually do it, to, again, lesser magic, tell you what they're going to do before they then actually do it. So this is an interdimensional alien assault. That's how at the higher dimensions these things operate. That's why the Bible says Satan goes up to heaven in the Old Testament and New Testament and talks to God and asks permission for things he wants to do here. And then Satan complains that God won't let him fully go after us. And then when humans do really bad things and humans by free will agree to it, God will then remove the protection and let Satan do what he wants to a limited extent.
What are they blackpilling Drex about? Has Drex ever talked to Nick? Apparently they had problems. What's up, Neurodivergent One? Glad to see you. Probably talking about the kids and everything. Gonna stab your wife, your son. Ooh. Gonna stab you with a butcher knife. And every police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. If you guys don't know what I'm doing, I'm singing the Alex Jones folk song. And if you haven't seen the Alex Jones folk song, well, before we leave, after this, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. For anybody who has not seen that, it is a treat, and it is worth watching. So,
because God gave us free will, but God gave us a blueprint and a cheat sheet of the enemy operation. He gave us the enemy battle plan so that we would have a chance to make the right decision. And then they tell you drone swarms targeting U.S. military bases are operated by Mothership. UFO claims top Pentagon official. Oh, and they've got a secret base with all the old alien spacecraft. Like aliens come here and then get shot down by aircraft back in the 40s and 50s. No. The breakaway civilization flies up a Tinker toy. They've got a biological android on board. Just a mutated human. Very easy to do. You put even a little bit more of the allowable amount of aspartame into the egg right at inception, and it will come out looking like a gray alien, shriveled, big eyes, no, a big open mouth, no teeth. And they just have a few humanoids that just basically aren't even as smart as sadly a Down syndrome person. And they just fly one of these around. Okay, shoot it down, shoot it down. They find some 3 foot tall dwarfs. And then that's just, and then they run in the psyop. It's all a big movie production. It's all about what they can get us to do. So that we accept, oh, there's all this advanced stuff, but it's aliens. And oh, something weird's happening with the weather. It's because you ate beef, or you've got a car, or you've got a nice house. So the key to this is you don't know about the advanced technology. You don't know about the cloning. You don't know about their overall operation. You don't know they're getting it from the fallen one marooned on the planet here with us to test us. But then we were built by the big guy, and he has a much bigger plan for us, because it's not like Satan can even build this stuff. Satan just has knowledge of it. And from all these interdimensional encounters that have come out and been documented, they give them the general theoretics of the plan and then say, you know how to do it. This is what you built. They don't even give them the schematics or the exact details. They just give them hints and explain it. So again, you could be a 5'5" person that weighs 100 pounds, and you could beat up Mike Tyson when he's 3 years old. But when Mike Tyson's 20 years old, nobody can beat him up. So see, we're more advanced. We're more powerful. We're made in God's image. We're given the free will. We are the advanced technology. We are God's artificial intelligence. We are an extension that God created. Little g. Old Testament. Little God. But you got to have a drill sergeant. You've got to have a hell week. You've got to have a test. And so people say, well, God's the ultimate sadist. That's what Satanists always say. Well, your God allows this all to happen. No, God gave us free will and then lets us experience this before we go to the next level and get the real power. And this is why they want me off the air, because I understand the compendium historically, biblically, and I can see it all around us, and that's what this is. So they're prepping a false alien invasion. You've heard about this forever. It's leaked out. The government's been planning it to unify the world around world government, and now they're harassing their own military bases to up the fear and think we're so stupid. They go, yeah, they got propellers, but they might be aliens. No. What you just saw on screen is a super advanced jump ship. Look at that big triangle. That's a big bomber. InfoWars is up for sale.
Oh, yeah, November 13th.
November 13th. That's 28 days from the time I'm taping this on October 15th. But regardless what happens to InfoWars, it's just a building. The people are the InfoWar. I'm the InfoWar. So I tend to stay on air. But to do that, our outside sponsors need your support. And one of the greatest ones is drjonesnaturals.com, my dad's supplement company. Just one of the products. Next Level Financial Energy is not a stimulant, but it feels like a stimulant with no letdown, because it's the concentrated breakdown of folic acid, that is in the spinach that Popeye loves. So your body can completely absorb it with a complex of other key vitamins that upload it right to your cells. I want it right now. No letdown, incredible energy, next level foundational energy, exclusively available at drjonesnaturals.com. Believe me, you want to get a bottle of next level foundational energy, because it won't just empower your body and give you incredible clean energy with no letdown. It will fund me staying on the air one way or another. Go to drjonesnaturals.com and get next level foundational energy right now.
All right. Now, since Lord of the Rings got me going and got me singing, hopefully you enjoyed my lovely serenading. Let's let a professional do it. I guess professional, or so. This, if you haven't seen it, this is the Alex Jones rants as an indie folk song. There are many quotable lines from Alex Jones. He is a meme of a human being. The Frog Prophet knows all. All hail the Frog Prophet. Praise be upon him. So let's go ahead and share this real quick for anybody who hasn't seen this. This is the Alex Jones rants as an indie folk song. Enjoy.
Government store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive, selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy widow woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
He totally just stepped on a rock right there. I know that feeling. That's the same feeling you get from children's toys on the floor when you're walking around in the middle of the night. You just stepped on a rock, Alex. Nature came back to bite you, sir.
Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice and itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son.
Glad you came back, Urs.
We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
There you go. There you go. Oh. I don't know what that was. There's another one. But for anybody who has never seen it, there it was. There it was. The Alex Jones as an indie folk song. It was great. Thank you, Lord of the Reef, for getting me going on that. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And to everybody who's hanging out still, we're still at 34. We've been around 35 to 40 people watching on the Rumble. I think we had like 200 or so on X. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you to Trish1 for being an awesome mod. Thank you to all those people who supported today. We had Lord of the Ree and Cool Frog sending us Rumble rants. If any other stuff has come in, I haven't seen it yet. But to everybody who has watched, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to earn your follow, hopefully your views, hopefully your interaction. I am here to inform and entertain as best I can. Sometimes, guys, you're presented with a shit sandwich, and hopefully I can make it a little bit more palatable. We are going to be streaming Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Central here on the Dozer Den. Thank you guys so much for watching. Y'all have yourselves a good one. I will see you Monday at 9:30 p.m. Central. Y'all have a good one.